Here we go. Welcome to a very special episode of the All Read Everything podcast. If you are not just listening with your ears, but perhaps with your eyes, you might see that we're sitting in a pretty cool space. And I'm next to a bloke named Jett Johnson.
There you go.
Buddy, welcome to the show, and thank you for welcoming us to the family business.
No, thanks for having me. I'm real keen for it. First podcast I've ever done. So.
Oh, really? You've never done...
Never done a podcast before.
Never done a podcast?
No, been on the driver's seat. I've been on that when Dad was doing the radio show there.
Oh, yeah.
Did that. There was a little segment there that I did, but I haven't done a full podcast like this before, a full sit-down.
Mate, podcast is good because you lock out the rest of the world, you throw your headphones on, and then you just talk. And it's... Would you believe it's very pleasant?
It is. No, it's going to be very... I mean, these are the best sort of things to do. They just sit down, have a yarn,
It's
whatever.
In my mind, it's what's missing from the world today because everything is rush. And I even look at my day today, like everything was just rush. But then I get here, and mate, I turn my phone off. I don't really care what's going on in the rest of the world. The only thing I'm interested in is a conversation with you.
100%.
And that, I think, is a real privilege.
100%. And just nice and laid back too. Everything's too corporate now.
Well,
You'd know from look at all the
mate,
appearances that people are doing. Everything's too corporate.
Everything's too corporate. Well, at Pace, I was told to not smash beers on the live stream. So that's me. I'm bending
I would have
to the
told
man.
him to jam that with the sun.
No. Mr. BT, he's the man. So when he tells me to behave, I pull my head in just a little bit.
Nice.
Don't worry, shenanigans will return.
I hope it does.
For these sorts of things, it's what I like because it's real life. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not manufactured.
Yeah. Exactly. There's no script sitting laying
Mate,
around anywhere.
There's no script. There's no agenda. It's just talking nonsense with cool people. And
that's where you learn the most about people too.
The best.
You don't learn from, a 2-page long script of, this is exactly what we need to talk about, don't stray off it. You don't learn.
I couldn't think of anything worse, and I'd forget. I'll be honest.
I'm the exact same.
I would totally forget because we came in here and we should have been setting up. We've been here for actually nearly 2 hours. Nearly 2 hours ago we got here, but we started kicking round, and there is a mint XD behind us, and it's not just any XD. It's the True Blue replica.
Yep, Mark III.
Mark III, and you actually helped to spin spanners on it.
Yeah, my whole life has been around go-karts, around spanner on Hyundai XLs. When I eventually left school because I don't have the university brain, that's not me. That was never going to happen. I left school and ended up Dad at a race shop, Coomera. Started my apprenticeship there and was swinging spanners on that XD as my apprenticeship, which I think is...
Pretty good car to start on.
Not bad.
Not
Definitely
bad.
not bad.
Just for people who might not be watching and would be listening, do you want to explain this car, like what it actually is and what underpins it?
Yeah, so it's a... we wanted to build it as a tribute to, obviously, True Blue and True Blue Mark II, but all built for the TCM category in Australia. It's a 700 horsepower XD built by Pace Innovations that do a lot of the supercar chassis now. But it's a very, like what I said earlier when we were talking about, it's as much supercar gear as you can crammed into an XD Falcon with 700 horsepower, live axle on the rear, and a 4-speed Andrews dog box in it.
Ugh.
And it is the Mona Lisa of Australian muscle cars.
Mate, it is mint.
Like,
I bloody love an XD. And Granddad came in and he said, that one's actually for sale if you've got the right chunk of change.
Yep. If anyone that's listening has 400 odd grand that they want to spend on a old XD Falcon,
absolutely,
you can head home with.
You can be a mad dog in this thing. I'm just there going, how do I explain to my wife I've just spent 400 grand on an XD Falcon?
100%. I'll tell you what though, word of warning to anyone if you do buy it, it's an absolute prick to clean it.
Is it?
all the interior, all under the engine bay is all that white, like that real light,
Oh yeah, it's that light grey.
that real light sort of almost like a primer grey.
Yeah.
To, it looks very tidy
Mate,
inside.
it looks so
But
good.
being
I
the
didn't even think-
apprentice, who got the
Oh,
who was the
no.
one that was constantly having it? Yeah. Mate,
So
I
they
was-
made you polish the interior constantly.
Oh, I was elbow deep in that thing for hours on end. Hours.
It's not glamorous, is it? It's not glamorous work.
I mean, there's worse things to do than clean that Falcon there. 100%.
Mate, that is so funny. And like I just appreciate that we're hanging here in the family business. But interestingly, we're not so much here to talk about the family business. We're here to, I guess, talk about, yourself and your journey. Because, you're a young man, but you've jammed a fair bit in. And also, you have a Barra Falcon that you take drifting. And I'm like, my man.
Yeah, I don't mind a bit of sideways action myself. I mean, it all started from all my sideways journey started from an '08 TK Barina on me red peas in the wet.
Did you learn to be a handbrake bandit?
Oh, mate.
I must say, I'm a handbrake bandit too. I know how to...
Mate, that Barina constantly had 60 pound in the rears, ready for some sideways action. But
It really does teach you how to...
It does. Oh, mate.
There used to be a gravel road over here over at Yatla.
Yeah.
Over the other side that used to connect through, and mate, I used to hit
Yeah.
that bad boy every other day.
Mate, I'll tell you what, old Jacob's Well out the back here.
Ah, yes.
That's
Couple of
not too
paddocks
bad in
out
the
there.
wet.
Very pleasant.
But,
allegedly.
started all the drift journey though when I was in Super 3 actually, right before I did my first Super 3 round. I still remember the day I bought the car. So I was at TAFE, it was on a Wednesday, and sitting there halfway through a test, and it was the auto electrical segment of TAFE. So I don't play with electric spaghetti, ever. I hate
you?
it. No. I'm flat out wiring up a bloody switch.
Fair enough.
So I was midway through that, and I'm sitting with my phone scrolling through Marketplace at the same time, and saw the old Falcon pop up for $1,500. I'm like, right, I see if I can lowball him a bit.
Not bad.
Offered in 800. He's like, if you come with $1,000 right now, he's like, I got another dude that's coming to pick it up the Savo. If you can get here before him, get it loaded onto your trailer and out of here before he rocks up, you can have it for $1,000.
Oof.
So midway through the test, I'm like, yep.
Gotta go.
See you later. Ended up with a was it 07, I think it is, BF Falcon.
What a bargain. Was it rooted or did it still
Mate,
run?
the thing was tidy.
Oh,
It
really?
was very tidy.
$1,500.
For $1,000. $1,000 cash.
Unbelievable.
Mate, it was tidy. And then I proceeded to untidy it.
Obliterated.
Oh, that thing is...
Drifting
yeah.
is not kind to cars.
No. And especially me being, drifting. Yeah, I can just do dodgy stuff and make it work.
No, not so much.
No, I figured that out the hard way. I've only just finished unrooting the car, so it's still a shite box at the moment, but
Slowly.
it's mine. I like it. Good fun.
Mate, that's important. Now, you got to tell me, you born Brizzy, Gold Coast, this
Yep.
part of the world?
I'm Gold Coast boy,
Because
whole life.
Mum and Dad, where are they based? Are they?
So Dad was born... Where's Dad born? He was Gold Coast as well.
Yeah.
Dad was Daisy Hill.
Mm.
Lived there for a lot of his childhood.
Mm.
And Mum's Sydney.
Mm.
So Mum's like, where is she? I think she's West Sydney too.
Really?
Yeah. So, Mum's West Sydney, and then ended up moving up this way. I don't even know when.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a clue.
Met the old boy and
Yeah, exactly. And then
came up to Queensland.
she was up here. I think she was up here already when they met Dad. There's a whole backstory that I've heard a tiny bit of, but because obviously you can imagine what Dad was like back in his day.
Shenanigans.
Yeah, I've heard some stories, and I'll
Come
tell
with
you what,
Come with the territory of being a legend.
how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah. Oh, turn it up. Hey, don't say that about your old boy.
Nah, look, it's yeah.
No, I get it.
Definitely some good stories there that I need to sit down with Dad, and
Absolutely.
because I got
Get a few of those out.
Oh,
I
yeah.
reckon there'd be some rivers.
Well, I've heard a few from his best mate Muzz. I've heard a
That's where
couple
you
of the
get the good
stories
ones.
there. It's oh
Yeah, it's from the mates, from the blokes that have known him forever, and they'll be like, yeah, I'll tell you
yeah.
later,
Well,
mate."
because I'm good mates with Dad's best mate's son as well. He's one of my I've obviously grown up
Yeah, you're great.
with him, and yeah, some of the stories that Dano's told me, some of the ones that have come from Muzz, I'm like
Throw the old boy straight under the bus, huh?
100%.
And he'll be like, stitch up. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm doing the same at the moment with all the boys. We're getting to a bit of shenanigans.
Mate, shenanigans are one of the best parts of life,
100%.
especially with the boys. Mate, I was at Morton Island the other week with the fellas, and mate, that is my wife, and they're like, you're just a bunch of children. And I'm like, yes.
Exactly.
We pretty much stopped maturing at about 15, and yeah,
100%.
that's it. We still like all the same dumb stuff.
Oh, it's in my mind, we're all still kids.
Yeah.
We just end up with adult money,
That is
so
absolutely
we can go
correct.
and do very very dumb stuff.
That is 100% correct, and I fully support and endorse this.
100%.
So grew up here, and look, I reckon your childhood, it would seem normal to you, but it would probably be a bit weird to the average punter.
Yeah.
Like growing up around the race team, and because was Dad racing when you were
Yeah.
young bloke?
Yep. Yeah. So he was in supercars at the time when I sort of started. Like my whole childhood, sort of normal to me, but
Yeah.
all go karts. That's sort of where everything obviously started for me when I was, what was I, 6. So what was that 5? What am I? 21 now. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
What's the math on that?
Yeah. Oh, mate, I can't count.
Neither can I.
So, but yeah, about yeah.
Yeah, so like when I was obviously 5, 6 is when I started. Actually, first laps of a cut in a go kart was at Mick Doohan's place.
Really?
They got a go kart track there in where his place was in Coomera. I think
What a
he
boss.
recently sold.
Is that the one where he's got the shed for the helicopter and stuff?
Yeah, that's it. Right on just off the Coomera River.
Yeah.
So
Like, what a legend.
oh, it was
so cool.
But yeah, first ever go kart laps in.
He's done
Mick
full
Doohan's
adult
plate?
money things.
Oh,
where it's
yeah.
just been like, because I can. Like,
Yeah, because why not? I mean,
absolutely.
we'd all do the exact
Oh, mate, I
same
would do
thing.
the exact same thing. I'm like, what a
100%.
legend. Oh, that's so good. So you got to turn some stuff there.
Yeah, it was.
Does he got a little cheeky track or had a little cheeky
He's
track?
got a proper
Proper.
proper go kart track there. It's a decent sized track too.
The man.
So yeah, did my first ever laps there, and for Dad's bank account, it was all downhill from there.
Yeah, it's not good, hey.
No.
The karting stuff, because I've got friends that have done it, and like that is proper money. That is.
Yeah, like back when I was doing it, it wasn't as bad as what it is now. Like now, there's dads throwing money into it, thinking that their kids
this
can
is
end
the way
up
to
in
F1.
Formula One
Absolutely.
in a couple of years' time through go karts at bloody Ipswich
Yeah.
of all tracks.
It's hard yards, isn't it?
It is, and like, because I've got a go kart still, a DD2 that's in pieces at the moment in my shed. The chassis looks good.
And they're a good way to learn.
Oh, they are, but they're good. Like the thing that with getting a go kart for me, the whole principle is just keeping behind a wheel in something that my brain couldn't really keep up with. It was that quick.
Yes.
That's the thing about karts is that people don't understand, especially when you get to that. DD2 is a 2-speed shifter, Rotax 130 or 125 or
Which
whatever
is
they
mental.
are. They are just, mate, the amount of grip that they've got, how quickly they move is just, even from racing Super 3, my brain still just couldn't handle it at first. Like everything was happening so quick. I was just hanging on for
And that's
dear
for a man
life.
with a fast brain going and
Yeah, and I'm like,
can't process that.
wow. I just really, I need to be 2 steps ahead of where I think I need to be.
And see, that's insane. Because look, I've never driven proper fast karts. I've done, the backyard stuff. And
Yeah, like they're brutal.
Yeah.
They're so brutal.
And because you've got, no suspension and you're sort of locked in, so
Yeah.
you're feeling everything through
Yeah.
it.
100%. And like, I'll tell you what, the ribs copping bad in that. It was like,
Yeah.
so I still remember, was it 2021? We were doing the Northern Series for TA2, so it was just a Queensland Raceway series that they did, and we were leading the championship. It was the weekend before TG Tony, who had been with me since I think since the first time I drove a go-kart at Lismore when I was 5 or 6 years old. So like he's been there for go-karts forever, XLs and then TA2s, and he had Dad's old KZ shifter cart. We're like, all right, sweet as, let's take it out to QR, out to Ipswich the weekend before Northern Series, and anyway, got through most of the way through the finals. I mean, after the first day, I'm sitting there sooking and my forearm, arms, and everything hurts. I was rooted.
And you're looking at how old kids are. Oh, sorry, how big kids are at that. Like there's not a lot of you.
No. And I'm not a small dude either. Like there was a lot of me moving around in a go-kart, but yeah, ended up in the final about 2/3 of the way through the race. I think I had like 5 or 6 laps to go. Come onto the straight, and anyone that's done clockwise at Ipswich go-kart, there's a slip road that comes out in the last corner. As I've come into it, I had a bit of a twitch in the arse, shifted over about half a metre to me right, and that curb, it's pretty much a 90-degree curb that comes out and then follows the rest of the track around. And I've hit that with the right-hand side, launched the kart over it, and bye-bye left-hand ribs.
Whoops.
Peeled the cartilage off me ribs.
Oh.
And that was bad enough.
Ow.
And then the next lap after that, came through the chicane and had another wobble and belted another curb on the same side. Did the ribs on the same side. It was just winded the absolute. Oh, man, that was the worst pain I'd ever been in.
I could imagine.
And then the weekend after that, racing out at Queensland Raceway in a TA2.
You'd be massively bruised, and you'd probably be a bit gun shy too, I think.
Oh, well, the big bump in the middle of turn 1 at Queensland Raceway on my left-hand ribs, I felt that every single lap. Ouch. That was a very sore weekend. That was probably not the smartest decision, getting in a shifter cart the weekend before, but
it's all right. None of us are known for smart ideas.
No, I'm definitely not.
Just send it.
Oh, exactly. I mean, why not? It makes for good stories at the end of the day. So
makes for great stories.
100%.
It's just
add a bit of excitement to it.
Bit of a price to pay. Oh, that is savage. So there was obviously, and I guess given it's a family that obviously loves racing cars, there's a fairly natural progression of going, righto, little man. Here's what we do.
It's a case
you into
of
it? Like you.
I was always into it.
Right into it.
I was right into it from day dot.
Hell yeah.
First year of a go kart, and I'm like, sweet. I still remember. I had the old simulator set up on the PS3 in the movie room at home, and I'm fanging around on I think it was like NASCAR Heat or something like that on the PS3. Good. I'm like, every morning I'd wake up before school.
Really?
Straight onto that, and
No way. See, that's awesome.
It's
so like you fully, like, not just into it, but like
that's just like from day dot. I was like, supercars race. That's where I want to go.
And you could see it, and you're like, this is me. I want to do this. This is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
100%. And
that's wild.
that didn't stop.
Yeah.
Up through TA2, all of that. Like I'm
all the way through.
100%. Even TA2, I'm like, this is. I'm at a point where not many. I was 15, 16, racing. I didn't even have my learners yet, and I'm racing a 525 horsepower.
Yeah, which is mental.
100%. TA2 Mustang around Queensland Raceway and tracks around the country. Like that was the funniest thing to me, is that I'm sitting here doing my pre-learners tests and everything on a bloody computer, whereas a couple of weeks ago I was fanging around sideways at Phillip Island at 200 and however many Ks we were doing. I wouldn't even know what
I did see that.
we were doing there.
I'm sure I'm currently watching Drive to Survive for this year. Wasn't that Kimi Antonelli? He had his mum driving him at the start
it does have his licence.
It doesn't have his licence.
I don't think Piastri has his Australian licence either.
I think that's the funniest. It's
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I drive F1, but I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's the same thing. You're like, I know how to steer. Like, I got this, but you don't have you're not even old enough.
But it's funny, I found...
So crazy.
I found even doing my learners, it was so stressful driving on the road, yet I was so relaxed driving a race car. Just
Isn't
because
that
it was
funny?
so different to me. Like, cutting laps around a track that had been my forte since I was 6 years old. But then you're getting on a road where there's everything so uncontrolled. There's
There's
just,
so much going on and so much you've got to be aware of. It is very
yeah,
different in
there's so
that
much that can
sense.
distract you as well.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's the other thing. And when you're on a track, yeah, everyone's going the same direction. Everyone at least somewhat knows how to drive,
Yeah, broadly speaking.
100% broadly speaking. But yeah, then you get onto the street and
Yeah, and then there's just people that like just have a potato between their ears that
100%,
had a license fall out of a cereal packet.
100%. I've been known to pull up to a set of lights every once in a while and give out free driving tutoring.
Ah, very good. Yes, people always enjoy that.
Yeah, it's just
I
I
know,
don't get
constantly.
it. I don't.
You ride as well, don't you?
Yep.
In moto?
Yeah, I rode my street bike here.
That's what I thought.
Now it's pissing
Great
down
day.
with
Yeah,
rain,
great day for
so
it. Sensational day to ride the bike. Did you find getting your bike license and riding on the road that made you a better driver?
yeah, I think it did because I'm constantly looking at things that I wasn't looking at before. That's the one thing that when you're when you're in a car, you're coming through a corner and you're just kind of blankly staring at the other side of the road. But then when you're on a bike, you're constantly switching between watching the bushes around you, see if there's anything moving. You're watching the road surface, then you're watching your vanishing point, and then you're back to the road. Like you just
Constantly scanning, hyper aware.
100%. And I do that in the car now too. Like I'm watching every single road driveway that's coming up. I'm
Watching the front wheels of cars.
Yep,
to-
100%. When I'm driving through, like when there's parked cars,
And you
I'm watching
watch-
for indicators, wheels.
And because on the bike it's like, you're done, and so you become just hyper aware. I found.
Yeah, even my positioning down the highway has changed too. Like I'm not sitting next to cars anymore. I'm
No,
sitting
you sort of-
behind them, or I'm making sure I'm well up.
Correct.
In
'Cause
front of
you
them.
think about those lines of sight for people who aren't paying attention.
Yeah,
That will just go and not even.
yeah, but you're also trying to give yourself an out if someone does something dumb or
Correct.
everyone
Braking
jumps on the
room,
brakes.
Stopping room.
Yeah.
Peeling off. Because you're always thinking about it. Because on the bike you've got to be so defensive or offensive, like to get ahead of the.
Yeah, and you're watching further up the road too to dictate what traffic's doing. Just bits like that you don't actually. You don't think about until you get on a bike, and the first time I rode a bike, because like I've had my RE opens for I got them in February, so not long,
No, not long.
month
Did you
and a bit.
Did you get 1,000cc straight away like everybody does?
It was 650.
Yeah, sensible.
Sensible. Well, that's the largest you're allowed to go in your REs.
Oh, is it?
Yep. So off your learners, largest you're allowed to go is a 650, restricted. 650 restricted,
Yes.
and it's obviously with all the lambs, everything. Try and
they're trying to stop
promote
people
safer
from-
riding and
Like a 1,000cc bike, and especially some of the new stuff. Like they're mental.
100%. Mate, that's 650 I've got. Like it,
Yeah, they're
it's
quick.
nothing to slouch at. It moves.
They're quick. What is it? What are you riding?
It's a higher sung.
That's
So I wanted to look at a CBR 650 for my first bike, but my whole mindset was if I get a nice bike for my first bike, first of all, didn't really want to spend the money on a expensive bike ride. I didn't want to spend 12, 14 grand on a
Sensible.
CBR straight up. Chances are I'm going to grab a fistful of front brake in a car park when I shouldn't, and things are going to end up going tits
Yes.
over at 2k an hour.
And just for yes.
That was
highly
my
likely.
exact mindset, and I've nearly got like riding. I haven't had any scares riding, which you shouldn't have any scares riding. But the times I've nearly gone over have been pulling up somewhere. I go to put my foot down and I stick my foot down some wet grass
Yeah,
instead of the
miss
road,
ground
or
something.
I nearly I don't know. I nearly dropped the thing in my driveway the other day, and like just
Oh
bits.
yeah, if you
We are.
the rock, the driveways with the pebbles in them, that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
Oh man,
which is
they can be so slippery.
100%. I've got potholes and everything up our
Yeah,
asphalt
absolutely.
driveway.
They're the
and
ones that'll get you, and you're like,
100%. But yeah, so I bought
Very
a
sensible.
Hyosung 650. I bought the thing for
Marketplace.
Marketplace.
Sounds like you're a
out of
Marketplace
Toowoomba.
bandit.
Oh, I'm a Marketplace bandit. Oh, love it.
Yes.
I built half my drift car off Marketplace.
I don't know anybody who hasn't.
Exactly, exactly. But yeah, I think it was like 1,500 or 1,800 bucks off Marketplace. It was
Nice.
1,800.
And
Picked
see
it up.
that, but honestly, that's really surprisingly sensible to just buy something, not
Yeah.
too crazy that you can just get
Yeah.
comfortable with.
And they're a nice looking bike too. They sound beautiful. Big V-twin 650s. They sound beautiful. And then I went and bought a quick shifter for it too because
Nice.
supercar.
Nice.
I just love quick shifters.
Because are they the ones that you don't have to clutch it? You can just hit
Don't
it.
have to.
and it
You
interact-
don't have to clutch or throttle.
Yeah.
So you
Oh,
literally
so you
can
can
keep the
just
thing.
smash
It's
it.
got a strain gauge on the linkage.
Really?
So that when you hit the gear linkage, it cuts your ignition. So because obviously they're a dog box in pretty much all bikes. So you don't need a clutch to shift. You just obviously flip off the throttle to shift up. But yeah, it's got like a strain gauge in the rod that goes from your gear lever to the box.
Nice.
A strain gauge on that, so you just hold the thing on throttle, slam it up through your gears,
Smash
does
it.
it on the way down as well. So
fun. See, that's
love
actually
it.
really fun.
I literally I did not need it whatsoever. I did not need a quick shifter on that whatsoever, but I bought it because it's fun.
Mate, it is fun. I didn't know they were a V-twin.
Yep,
I love V-twins.
they sound so
They're
good.
so good. V-twin sports bikes.
Revs to 10.5 as well.
Mad.
Yeah.
Really? 10.5? See,
Yep.
these are the things I like about bikes is, you get the high revving and just
Yeah.
screaming and
100%.
the SP, the Honda SP, those and the VTRs.
Yeah.
They're
Even the
really
fire blades
fun.
sound beautiful, and
They're
then
a
all
really
your
fun
MT, like your MT-09s are just such a beautiful
With the-
MT-09s and the
with
R9s.
the triples.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're quite violent.
yeah, the R9s with the rev range as well. Just
See, I had a 98 Honda Blackbird,
yeah,
so old carbureted. Yeah,
Yeah.
and mate, they're proper, like, 1100cc, and they're 160 horsepower back in the day. And
yeah, right.
And that was the first bike I rode that like felt like you're pushing fast forward.
Yeah.
Because they actually mounted the engine solid into the frame, which hadn't really been done before in the 90s. They actually
Yeah, so there was
they
no.
braced it, so there was no vibration through the engine. They actually had counterbalance camshafts in them.
Yeah, right.
If I remember correctly, I could be wrong there, but counterbalance something, but basically zero vibration. And so this thing was just pure violence, and you just keep rolling. Yeah, you're just like 9,000 RPM, and that thing four-cylinder launch, like.
Yeah, even that for a 650 V twin, like the power of that when I first rode it, like I wasn't ready for the feeling of how naked you feel riding a bike compared to a car. You're going
It's-
down the road and you're like, oh, I'm like,
You feel very exposed.
you feel so you get like obviously you get used to it. But yeah, you feel so exposed, but then you're also, I wasn't ready for just how much power they've got. Like,
Especially yours with a V-twin. 'Cause
yeah,
you've
the
got-
thing
you've
makes
got
like,
torque.
yeah, it
got
makes
torque.
power from down, like, you're cruising at, 3.5, 4 grand, and you roll on it, and it's got torque from
Yeah,
the
you give it the
second you hit
berries
the
and
throttle.
you're
It
like,
pulls all the way up to 10.5.
Oh yeah,
It's
V-twin's a boss. I've never ridden one of those. It's actually sounds like a bit of fun.
they're very good fun. I mean, she's a bit unhappy down low at the stator's letting go. So
It's fair enough.
tell you what, traffic's
Not great.
nightmare. But no, it's good. Like all the riding I did was all Beachmont, Tambourine, Moolumbar, all those big
And
loops.
how good are those? Like they're just magic.
Just for clearing your head, it's so nice. Like, just get out and just enjoy the weather, enjoy the
And feeling the
roads.
temperature difference. I actually really like. You
Yeah.
feel like cooler, hotter as you're going through the mountains, and
Yep.
the smells as well. Like you go through different parts, you can sort of smell the rainforest and the.
Yep.
It's actually really quite beautiful.
It's so good. So good. And just yeah, even when you get up for a nice early ride too, you've got that morning chill. It's the best feel. I'm not keen for winter though.
See, I'm a winter rider. I prefer
Really?
riding in
See,
winter.
I haven't ridden in winter yet, so
Yeah.
But-
yes, it's colder, but you don't get overheated because, like, in all your
Yeah.
gear, in all your safety gear, it can get pretty toasty
yeah,
middle of summer, especially at traffic lights. Like,
100%. But see, where I live, because I live out on the way out to Canungra, so it's cool out there, right in the middle of. You've got all the sort of mountain or all the hill range from around Nerang State Forest, but then the other side you've got the edge of the scenic rim as well. So like Tamborine Mountain, all that.
It's so beautiful through there.
In between those, it's so beautiful, but it gets cold.
It does get a bit fresh.
It gets so fresh out of our
you
place.
get the heated grips.
Oh, yeah, it's too fancy for me.
Mate, old man styles. Yeah, heated grips. You can get like heaters in your jacket. Have you seen like the?
Well, I was funny enough looking at the like the Milwaukee
They're the
heated
ones.
jackets.
Yeah, mate.
That
Get yourself
would be
a bit of that. Put some thermals on under. Yeah.
Yeah. Get a nice big puffy jacket.
Mate, amazing. You don't even feel it. You're just fresh. But,
Exactly.
oh no, look, the bikes are good. Like they're just
Good fun. Just good to clear your mind.
and enjoy it.
Especially with the price of diesel at the moment too. A lot cheaper to get around.
Not
Try
great.
and enjoy.
I've been thinking about getting a bike out. Because just for the
Yeah. I
for
mean,
the cheapness.
in this weather when it's pissing down
Look,
rain,
it's not great.
I'm definitely regretting my choice now.
No, honestly, it's not ideal when it's pouring rain, but part of the fun. Now, you got to tell me, so with your carts and stuff, I want to jump back to that. And, yeah, going through, I'm just interested, your experience of going through primary school and doing all these sorts of things and, having, look, the easiest way to say it, reasonably well-known family. And, like, what's that like as a young bloke?
I was very naive to it.
That's probably good then.
Which I actually really appreciate the fact that I went through primary school, everything as just a normal,
Just regular kid?
a regular kid that got pulled out of school every once in a while to go drive go-karts.
Yeah, go and do a weekend of racing.
Yeah, so I was very naive in that regard. Even to the whole third generation, even to that side of it, Mum and Dad did a very good job at not sort of relaying that pressure onto me, or I didn't really understand the gravity of where I was at. So, yeah, I was very shielded from it. I got to have a real normal
Just a normal
childhood as such, yeah. I was a bit of a shit in school though anyways.
Happens.
But when you got an ADHD undiagnosed running around I was constantly pulled out of class, going to all the special testing and all that.
Was it more hyper, like more, or do you sort of go a bit
more
more
attention? I was very attention, attention deficit.
Yeah.
That side of it, where I was just couldn't get any work done because I'm
checked out?
100%.
So you'd sort of go internal and just wouldn't pay attention if you weren't interested, sort of stuff.
Yeah, and that was the hardest thing, is trying to, the second I'm not interested in something, I'm
just
like,
off.
No.
There's nothing. You're just flicking off the switch and you're in the dark and
yeah, exactly.
you're staring out the window.
Exactly, and I'm like, I struggled to get any schoolwork done. That's another reason I didn't want to go to university or do any of that.
That's like your worst nightmare.
100%.
It's like, what am I going to do? Sit down and study for another 3? No, all the no.
Exactly. But yeah, it was just, I was constantly pulled out of class. They did all the, they did all the IQ testing, and they were doing all the ADHD testing in school. And
did they figure it out back then?
They figured it out back then, but I didn't get medicated until probably 4 months ago, 4 months ago.
It's really only gotten better in the last 10 years. Certainly the last few decades, it was pretty potato. In the 90s, when I was sort of high school, it was just not even it was just sort of bad kids. And
or just boys will be boys kind of thing.
Pretty much, mate. It's like, he's just a troublemaker. And it was just a thing that apparently boys had. Like they only added women to, and I, again, could be wrong here, I'm not Wikipedia, but like it was 2010 when they updated the diagnosis for women because
Yeah.
they sort of thought that girls didn't get it. And it's like, no, they just display it differently.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the
So it's all pretty modern.
100%. But yeah, like we got all the confirmation that diagnosed ADHD from all the testing results at least when I was in like grade 5. And I was from there. I didn't get medicated from there. Went through all school, and we actually only, when I went through all the diagnosis with the, I think psychiatrist, are they?
Yeah, correct.
Psychiatrist. Pulling all those old sort of school report cards out, all the old testing results, everything.
All the stuff they ask you to
He's
bring
looked
in.
and he's like, "Why did you not do all this earlier?"
Well, nobody knew.
Yeah,
I think that was the other thing. Nobody knew, and you didn't. It just wasn't a thing. You didn't go and get tested. They just went, well.
Yeah, exactly.
And you were sort of pushed to the side.
Yeah.
When actually all you needed was somebody to pay attention and just help and spend some time and a bit of kindness.
But it was less common though as well. When that was sort of when it was starting to get more and more common, or the ADHD side of it was when I was going through school. But now it's like a big, everyone.
Absolutely. There's more understanding of it. And I think there's so many of us who have been like, oh, I just thought I was a potato.
Yeah.
Because I'm just a super high functioning weapon, but also like absolute potato. And it's really weird being so capable, yet so incompetent. And those two sides of you just go, what is going on?
Yeah, it's hard,
because you're like weapon here, and then like huge chunk of your life potato.
it was like anything mechanical from my side of it. I even playing around with the drift car and built a motor for that out of my shed before Matsuri because I blew the thing up in my driveway. And I'd never torn a motor apart up until that point. Never built a motor, and I'm just cruising through everything. I didn't even realise I knew how to. I don't know where I picked everything up to do it. I just knew how to do it.
You just know.
But then sit me down to do paperwork.
Ugh, the worst. Because did you end up? You got dysgraphia, dyscalculia, dyslexia, any of those? There's a heap of crossover. With the writing and handwriting and all the.
Yeah. See, from like the official diagnosis point of view, no. The dyslexia side of it, I definitely reckon I have. There's plenty of times that mate, the amount that I misread documents and bits like that I'm like, just
feels
100%. But see, that side of it's, I've got to be careful too because I have my own business that I run.
Oh yeah.
So that side of it for me, I'm like, I've got to be
just
careful with everything I read. And,
But you also put more effort into it when it's something you're passionate about.
Yeah, 100%.
Because you also find spicy brain entrepreneurship is hand in hand, and you look around at all the people that run businesses and you're like,
Yeah, but see, I have to be doing something. I have to be working my hands. I have to be doing something. The whole running a business for me, I actually hate it.
Oh yeah, it's the worst.
It's the worst, but actually getting out and doing the work and working for myself in that regard,
that's the
I
best.
love. And being able to, if I need a day or want a day off to go drifting or go whatever, a test day I want to do, I can just do it.
Mate, it's a Thursday and I can do a podcast because I'm the boss, and I block out Thursdays and go, I'll go podcasting.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
That is the upside of it. But yeah, there's so much administration in running a business, and that part of it just really sucks.
Yeah, well, because the way that we were doing it originally was Mum and I were doing all the admin side of it, and there was just too much there to do. We ended up getting a family friend of ours, a bookkeeper, to sort of do all that admin side of it for me, so that all I've got to focus on is just the work side of it.
Correct.
And
do the job. Have somebody else deal with all the other stuff. That if you've got someone you can trust that helps with that is just life changing.
I don't have to fear the ATO anymore if I make a mistake, because that was the worst thing.
Mate, they throw down.
Oh yeah.
And they have no chill.
No, so that's the side that I really didn't
No.
really didn't enjoy.
No, you don't see that coming, and then they're like, "G'day, mate." And like, yeah,
Yeah,
let me just teach you a lesson.
100%. So, especially as
Yeah.
you're 20, 21,
Oh,
trying to
absolutely.
run your own business.
Well,
From
you
that
don't get
side, it's
taught
just
any of this.
no.
That's the
School,
whole thing.
that's the one thing I
you are
hate
not-
about school. They don't teach you anything
You're
practical
not
in that
set
regard.
up for anything. And look, yeah, you've got to imagine that it's on purpose. You know, we obviously don't create very smart adults
No.
as a baseline. And you've just got to get on with educating yourself.
Exactly.
If you want to do these things, you've got to sit down and figure it out.
Yeah, or put yourself around the right people that have
Absolutely. Done it before.
100%.
Can at least point you in the right direction.
Exactly.
That all makes a lot of sense. Because that's fascinating. Do you remember what grade you were in when they started sort of doing some of the diagnosis stuff? Do you, like pretty early primary school stuff? Or?
Oh yeah, it was like fourth grade.
Yeah,
I think it was
right.
in when they started with all of it,
Yeah.
and like from 7 or 8, I think it was 8th grade was when I actually went to because I went through heaps of different schools.
Right, okay.
I went through a few.
Was that because you're an absolute nightmare or moving around?
Oh, it was a
or-
bit of a nightmare, yeah.
Nightmare,
I
yeah.
guess you could say that.
Oh, mate, I can see
I
it.
was a handful.
You have an air of shenanigans.
Oh, I certainly do.
I can feel the vibe. It takes one
It's
to
got a
know
spicy
one.
personality. That's
Absolutely.
what it is.
Like,
But yeah, like I was moving around school to school. I was doing distance schooling for a bit.
Oh, yeah.
So I was,
just your folks trying to find a good fit for you. And
yeah, I was doing all the Zoom call schooling before
Yeah, okay.
COVID made it a trend.
Yeah.
So I was doing that. I actually got out of all that distance schooling and then went to a different school that was a very different style of education. A lot focused around, if you're
is it like
ADHD.
Montessori or something? Or,
What's it called?
there's a few different ones.
I forgot the
these days.
style of school that they're called, but they're very focused on students that are ADHD or on the spectrum or any of those sort of.
Yeah, so it's more understanding to different learning styles.
Exactly.
Rather than sit down, shut up, memorise,
Exactly, and like they're
and regurgitate.
yeah, exactly. They weren't a righto here, open your book, read this, and then we'll do a quiz later. And that's what worked for me really well. Like I had a bloody
Experiential
simulator I had a Logitech simulator wheel in class I'd hook up to my laptop to jump on iRacing.
Hell yeah.
Through that, I was
Talk about reasonable adjustments. That's
100%.
like, yeah, boy.
Yeah,
Some more of that.
I was getting time off school as well,
That's great.
multiple days a week to go wakeboarding because I was actually competing in wakeboard
Really?
competitions for a bit too.
Didn't see that coming.
Still love a bit of wakeboarding. Actually
It's a good thing.
went on my birthday not long ago. Actually went to the wakeboard park for the day and
Yeah, you wouldn't be too far from that.
no, I'm
Location would be handy.
5 minutes away.
Oh, so good.
So-
Those wakeboard parks are unreal.
They are so much fun.
Like, so good. And if you want to learn how to do
Yeah,
tricks and stuff.
and they're good fitness too. That's the other thing. Is that
Incredible fitness.
you're like the grip strength, forearm strength, core strength. Like you need to be strong to ride all day.
Confidence and also mental, like to be able to just hit it.
Yeah.
Because solid consequences.
Oh, I had a couple decent stacks. Just trying. Like I hadn't wakeboarded for probably 3 years, and had dusted the board off and went for a ride. And
Yeah, send it.
I got back on the water. I got back up to scratch. Like within 2 laps on the cable, I was starting to hit stuff that I was working up to last time, and I kind of forgot what point I got to. So I got a bit overconfident with hitting stuff.
Yes.
And I had a good bell ringer at the end of the day. I'm like, oh, okay, I need to
Just-
calm it down a
Yeah,
bit.
just keep it cool, not too much.
But
Yeah.
it's just good. Like it's good fun.
Yeah. So your primary school, like, so that really sort of moved around a fair bit. Because
Yeah. Up until about year 8, I was very all over the shop.
Okay.
Like I went to probably 4 or 5 different schools. So
And that would have been tough on your folks as well, because they.
yeah, and it was all for different reasons. So it wasn't just the fact that I was mucking up. Like it was, I didn't agree with the style that the school was sort of teaching and all of that side of it. you know, I had one school that didn't agree with all the racing side of it at the time I was having to take
really?
off,
And they
and
were
yeah,
having a go at you for that.
yeah, and having to go at
And see,
that.
that's
and
rough, and because you go, you're having a go at something, and then they still get upset at you.
But they like, yeah, I've had it plenty of times. You know, I had it with after I sort of left my apprenticeship. I actually left my apprenticeship as a mechanic to, funny enough, work on rockets.
Work on rockets.
So I was a
You've done some stuff for a bloke who's 21. You've done some things.
I've done so. I was a an apprentice CNC machinist
Really?
at Gilmore Space Technologies, working
pretty
out
cool.
of their Yatla facility. So I'm just around the corner from here.
Nice.
And sounds cooler than it was. It was the most mind-numbing job I've ever had.
Oh, really?
It was.
See, I watched the
I'd
dudes
love to say that it was the coolest thing
making
I've ever
rockets.
done in my life, and you're staring at a CNC machine making the same part over and over again.
Yeah, that's
all
less
day.
exciting.
That's less exciting. That was some cool stuff. I didn't have all the real cool stuff in the facility that I was working at.
Have you seen those YouTube videos of the dudes that make the fuel and like compress it into tubes and stuff? They make like rocket fuel and then they're sending it. That's all I can think of.
It was.
It's very fun.
It's a very It's funny. It's
That part of it
definitely
looks
It's full on when you go and like to work for those sort of places. The NDAs and everything that.
Oh, it'd be insane.
It is just because some of the stuff that you see there, you're like.
Well, if they're doing military stuff as well, or high tech,
Which
or
is what
space
they-
things,
yeah.
and then they're like, you cannot talk about anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise. We'll send Men in Black after you. There you
100%.
go. Yeah,
100%. But yeah, that rocket, the Gilmore Space Technologies launched up at Bowen 6 months ago now. Yeah, I had parts on that rocket.
Really?
I had a few parts on
You
that.
built parts on that
So
rocket.
I've got
You're part of Australian space history.
I'm a part of Australian space
Because that was
history.
the one that made us a spacefaring nation.
That
or
was the
something,
one
wasn't
that launched, went up and then quite quickly came back down.
Yeah. So that was a big deal,
There's a
though.
common denominator there with that going
Yeah.
whoopsie daisy and me having parts on it. So
Yeah, this bloke. Yeah, the bloke who builds drift cars and barrows and like, yeah.
the bloke that's tech screwing or was tech screwing a lot of parts onto
Yeah.
a drift car.
Yeah, it's all right, boys. Let me just zippy tee this into place. All right,
Mate,
off to space.
There's a reason that I've got a stash of cable ties in that drift car wedged down next to me seat. The amount of times I've come off track and there's bars and there's bits hanging off. Oh, where's the cable ties at?
I actually drilled holes in my road Falcon, like it's a road car, but because I've ripped the front bar off so many times because it's so low, and I forget and I park it, and it goes, psh, and I've actually just zip tied it. It's now got holes drilled in, so I can just go, zzz, zzz,
Yeah.
right, close enough.
Exactly, it's
I've
perfect.
given up. I was remaking mounts and making new metal ones and making it all nice.
You tried it, it doesn't work.
And then it'd go kaboom
The
again.
cable tie sits there staring at you. You're like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Oh, for fuck's sake. Grab
But
the cable tie.
lets go, and it means you don't break it worse, is the other good thing when you do
Yeah.
catch it.
100%, because you haven't Swiss cheesed your bar or your guards trying to then bolt other
Correct.
mounts to it. And yeah, it's
Try and do it nice and then rip the bar in half.
mate, I've cable tied a lot of parts on my. There's definitely some dodgy stuff I regret doing on that car, and there's some dodgy stuff I look at, and like
And you go,
that that was ingenuity right
and you
there.
go, that is Renaissance art.
100%. Like if I was stuck in the bush, that would have saved me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also was.
Good skills to have.
Oh, I definitely picked some. I picked some good angle grinder skills up on that car. I'll tell you what. Weight reduction on any car. If you need a lot of weight pulled out of any car,
I'll throw it out there. I'm a bit of a boss dog with the grinder. I too enjoy such things. It's
Ooh,
very
yeah.
satisfying, actually.
it is very satisfying. But then
Trying
you
to get
look.
your lines nice.
I look
and-
back at I look back at the car and I've got the rear chassis rails sitting on the ground next to the car, and I'm like, oh, what have I done? I probably shouldn't have cut those out. They're structural.
Too much, take it back.
Yeah. And then I look at all the other welds too from my MIG welder, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't
yes.
weld parts back into the car. I'm not very good at welding parts in, but I'm very good at cutting parts out.
Yeah, look, as long as it sticks together.
Oh, I mean, they stick.
That's but that's what they invented. What is it? The sanding pads that you put on your grinder.
Oh, the flappy discs.
The floppy disks. That makes anybody a top tier welder.
What I say, grinder and paint makes you the welder you ain't. I've gone through a lot of rattle cans and a lot of floppy discs.
Mate, especially on drift cars. Well, that's the
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
You just like.
It's the best
zero
place
care.
to learn, though.
I think drift cars are the best. I think drifting is the best form of motorsport.
Yeah.
In every way possible. I'll be honest with you.
Well, I'd never built a diff. I'd never built a motor in any car. And when I mean build a diff, I mean build it from nothing until I got that car. And, first thing I did was bought a mini spool off a Dick Smith for $80. Got a mini spool for it. Sweet as. And, like...
It's not where I think you'd buy that. Yeah, last
No,
person,
that's the...
Yeah.
I mean, they sell it, and it's still working pretty well now.
The old Dick spool.
Yeah, it was no, it's just the amount of stuff you learn on drift cars.
Well,
And
you just get in and have a go, don't you? Because the risk is so low. It's like, oh no, I ruined it. It's worth $100. Like it just does.
yeah. Well,
I'll buy another one.
something goes wrong on track, and you end up backwards out in the weeds, pissing yourself laughing.
Yeah. Whereas if you put this nugget here backwards into the weeds, you would be head in hands, tears.
Oh,
Whereas like drift car, you're like, meh.
I'll tell you what, I've come
That's
unstuck. I've come unstuck in supercar a couple times. I've come unstuck at bloody turn 1 of SMP and a TA2 at full Vickies. Lost power steering right before I turned in, and
Oh, gross.
she was straight ahead at a rate of knots.
That is not turn 1 to no.
Yeah, well, that was a
motorsport
bad weekend. I got kicked up the arse by Dad pretty hard that weekend.
Yeah.
I tore up some dollars in parts just from not being a very smart driver.
Oh,
But
yeah, brutal place to learn the lessons.
brutal place to learn those sort of lessons, because it was
That's why you're much better off to build drift falcons.
well, I've sprayed that thing off backwards at plenty of different corners at a few different tracks, and I'll tell you what, when you got your best mate in the passenger seat and you spray it off the track, you're both looking at each other dying laughing. It's so much fun.
Whoops.
You just don't you don't care. You just
you
could
don't
not care less. And that's the best thing, if
It's just for fun.
if I ruin that car, if I fire the thing, I've bounced the thing off the outside wall of QR at turn 2, bounce it off the wall there, and I couldn't care less.
No, like it's a bad day at the office, but it's not. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, you bend a bit of gear up, but then you sit with all the boys in the pits afterwards,
have a
and they
laugh
piss
and
themselves laughing
there
because
you
you
go, good
straighten your
story.
steering arm with a copper hammer and
Oh,
eyeball
correct.
aligning it, and thing was sweet
Yeah,
again.
you're like, yeah, it's pretty close, pretty close. I actually really like the panel alignments with the hammer, or like getting the guards out with the hammer, and you're like trying to
Yeah.
because I've done a lot of work on drift cars over the years, and you just get in and just fix it.
The old
and
jack handle roll
Oh,
the
yeah.
guards to try and stop your scrubbing issues.
I was in Japan with the boys, Drift Japan, with those boys,
Yeah.
Becky and those fellas, and they'd obliterated a rear bar, and I'm like, no, I can fix this, and like it was in 12 pieces, but it was a nice bar, and I just got to work, mate. Grabbed drills, zippy tees, got it mate, back together
Yeah.
like an artist, and then they blew it apart again. I went, well, you're on your own now.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
just that skill of being able to put those things back together, and because it's its own art form in drifting, I think.
Yeah, working on the fly to
Working on
keep
the
your
fly,
car on
figure it
track.
out.
Mate, I was with Cam at QR, and right after I just thrown the big boy China turbo on, because the thing's just got a big.
Mate, you got a Kinagawa?
No. I'm
Oh.
talking like a China turbo.
Oh,
I'm
proper
like,
Wuhan war whistle.
I'm pretty sure it's a max speeding rods.
Even better.
I got it for free, so
Hey,
free
right
turbo,
price.
good turbo. But yeah, right after I did the old turbo conversion with the big turbo on it, it was like a 76 mil. It takes a month to spool, but when it does, whew,
Yeah,
look
you're
out.
5,800 RPM, and we're finally hitting boost.
It's well up in the $4,000s when
Yeah, I
it
was going to
spools.
say it'd be right up at the.
And being auto too, I can't clutch
Oh,
kick the thing.
no.
I got the old BTR 4-speed in
no.
it still, so I've got.
Oh.
That's why I got that 009, the CD 009 going into it. I didn't want a T56 swap it.
That is
I'm not doing
just
that.
awful. You need nitrous in there to make it.
I really wanted to hook it
spoolie
up on a
things.
spray. I'm gonna hook it up.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
well,
set it up for a spray once I put a Haltech in it.
I
It's all
think you should.
factory ECU at the moment. Like it is proper grassroots spec drift car, and it's the most fun because you don't need to care about it.
It is the most fun, mate. Shit boxes are the dream because I mean you've raced Excels, and they're not cheap motorsport anymore. Like,
mate, I sold my XL for I think the best part of 40 grand,
isn't that astonishing?
and that car had some hits.
And those bad boys were like 13,990, drive away, no more to pay when like retail, and now they're $1 squillion because there's nothing left.
Yeah, well, as the days are gone, but even trying to find indicators and headlights for the thing now are just a pain in the arse.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Like, you can't find them anymore because every XL prick has torn them up, and they've gone around to every bloke in the country that's got an XL sitting there as a paddock basher and offered to buy their headlights and indicators for $1,000 for all of them.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a good thing. I am confident that what we're going to do next is like lawnmower drifting. Have you seen those videos? I was chatting to Dylan Cottle about this.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is, if you've seen
those, what are they? I forgot that, like those little sit-on drift carts. They're, like, I know a lot of dudes have made them out of, like, just quad bikes that they've then slapped a seat onto. We need, like, a drift series for those. Like, you got micro sprints.
Yeah.
Well, you need micro drifts.
I'm actually right there with you. I've actually got a custom-built mini drift cart. And, like, mate, you should see, we got this thing dialed, and it, like, Ackerman on it is, it's disgusting. And it's, like, 3 millimetres off the ground, because you put the Life N 125s in them, which gives you, like, more than enough power. But then you're like sequential gearbox, big hydro handbrake on it, and then plastic on the rears.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
it's the best.
Perfect.
So cheap.
100%. Yeah, you get a drift series, a bunch of those going.
I'm all about it. I'm currently. I think I'm just trying to hype some support for it, because I actually think that is something that we need to be doing, just because it's so stupid too.
Yeah.
Like, it's so dumb.
But that's what all people enjoy though, is the dumb. Like, you do like what your High Tech did with their High Tech Drift series. All that's, they're cool series. But then you look at that, mini drifts. A mini drift series, you'd pitch that to any drifter and they go,
I just want to do dumb things with my friends. Like, and that is so dumb.
Yeah, what's the saying? I just want to do dumb things in my stupid car.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I want to do dumb things with my stupid friends.
Yeah, I want to do dumb things with my stupid friends. And all my stupid friends, when you get like, we should do this. And they're like, yeah. I want to see full race shops get into it. That'd be cool. See, like, built dumb. You sort of keep a price limit on it. Like, you can't spend more than $5,000 on your whole build. So if you've got,
we'll do like a
$2,000 wheels,
100.
like, you got to be able to show invoices. Of,
like what they do with the 24-hour lemons. But we'll hold mini drift series.
Yeah, mini drift series, and then your price limit. See, and by talking to people about it, we can flesh out the idea. But I think that it's got to be like capped to keep it dumb, and it also
cap
to
it
keep
to marketplace fines only.
Marketplace fines, tech screws, zip ties, like that's it. It's got to be true to drifting spirit.
Yeah, and then what we can do is we'll hijack the workshop here for a drift course as well. Yeah. Perfect.
See, that would be your special stage.
Yeah. 100%.
You'd have a couple of different things, and you do your special stage, and you're like, oh, actually, that'd be amazing. Yeah, because this links up. You got garage doors at both ends? Oh,
there's garage doors at both ends. There's garage doors about halfway down. Oh, there's plenty of doors that you can come in and out of.
It's basically Mario Kart.
Yeah, I can see myself doing a big reverse entry right into the museum here, a few laps around that quarter panel that's sitting over there, and then straight back out.
Look, I'm sure that everybody would be down with that. I don't think that there'd be any problems. We'll definitely pitch that after this.
Oh, I know the exact 2 words that Grandad would say to me about that whole idea.
Yeah, absolutely not. Probably with more profanity. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I like most about this show. See what I'm not kidding when I tell people it's just pointless nonsense.
100%.
I'm literally here to just talk absolute nonsense with people. I was trying to get through, again, like sort of the arc of your journey, mate, because into high school was where we were up to before we decided we're going to
really
do
distracted.
the DJR special stage in our mini drift car series. it's getting better, isn't it? Like it's actually starting to sound like a real thing. Like,
I'm starting to.
there's something there. With your high schooling, were you racing at that stage? Like in,
Yep.
what's that, grade 7, grade 8, whatever that is? You were racing something then?
Yes, I was racing. What was year 8? I'm trying to think now. It feels like bloody 50 years ago.
It would. You've done a few
I
things.
know. I've lived a lifetime
Well,
since
I said,
then.
you lived a lifetime for a young man.
I know. It was XLs at that point.
XLs.
Racing the Hundies at that point.
What's that like? What is it like racing the XLs? Because
They are the most.
be slow.
You know the scene out of Days of Thunder where they're racing the 2 rental cars?
Yes.
It's pretty well that.
That.
Except with about 40 cars.
Mm.
Yeah, XLs is good fun. I mean, it's one of those series that it's just when people that don't race cars, when you explain the series to them that we're racing a bunch of Hyundai XLs, they laugh at you
Of course.
until they watch the racing and realise,
It's proper.
hang on, this is
Yeah,
it's a
proper
cool
racing.
series though, and you know, I got there's been some like funny moments from racing with. I still remember shafting Roland Dane when he was
Oh.
in the XL, and then a couple laps later, he punted me back and had me off. Mate, after the race,
What a moment!
after the race, he came up. We were pissing ourselves over it. It was just, it was so much fun. But yeah, the old Morgan Park days, racing the XLs was just, it was good fun.
It's a good time.
But they're definitely something to drive. Yeah, I've had some big moments, like obviously being front wheel drive, and you got the big sweeper at anyone that knows Morgan Park. You got the big sweeper at the back of Morgan Park. When you're coming through there in XL, you're either keeping the thing buried, or if you lift off as you turn in, that is a swap ends on you very quickly moment.
Well, it would, wouldn't it? Yeah,
So yeah, well, I got some good drifting experience from that coming
bet you
through 90 degrees to the track in an XL.
yeah, that's probably not the way you want to hit that corner, is it?
It's definitely not, but I'll tell you what, when you have I never ended up backwards there on my own account at that sweeper. I made some other questionable passes there that
Can't
had
imagine.
me off in the weeds backwards, but no, you have a big, massive slide coming through in a XL. You're worried whether or not things are going to fall over on your mid-corner.
Do they run any error or anything, or it's just there's?
I think it's at the air of a shoebox.
Yeah, well, that's
Like,
what I was trying to think about it.
They got
Going,
no
do you
error.
put any- yeah, like they went,
I thought it was flash having brake ducting on them.
that is
Like,
pretty
that was
flash.
pretty. It was pretty flash for an XL. The welds on them were not very flash,
Not
but
great.
I don't know who welded them. But
Probably some bloke who got a MIG welder and a flappy disc.
yeah, well, it definitely needed a flappy disc.
There's probably lots of that. So in grade 8, so that sort of age you were doing
Yeah, doing XLs.
ripping around in the XLs.
Yeah, and then still at that same school when I ended up doing the Trans Am test day. That was in Carl Begg's Motorsport Sales TA2.
And how did that come about? How did the opportunity to go from XLs to TA2? Is that something you were pursuing, or that's something that sort of came about?
It sort of came about. Obviously, Dad had sort of had a bit of a conversation with Carl, and Carl had pitched it to Dad, and then we were at the track at Morgan Park. Carl and his old man were there racing their E92 Beamer, which I ended up driving that some time later. That's a cool car,
I'll bet.
E92 M3. But yeah, then he was like, "Oh, do you want to have a test day in a TA2?" I was like, "Yes, absolutely, I would." And yeah, teed up a test day from there where I drove Carl's TA2 Mustang there, and one of the other cars that TA2 had out there. They had a brand new car that they were testing
Right.
that day. So we took the XL out to Queensland Raceway, did a session to get my eye in because I'd never driven QR at that point.
Oh, really?
No, I'd only ever driven at Morgan Park.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, so QR, I'm like, oh yeah, it's not bad in XL. Start fanging around the TA2. I'm like, yeah, this is
more like it.
cool. Dad was like, oh, do you want to hop back in the XL? I went, yeah, not really, no.
Not so much.
No, I don't.
You go, you let me play with the big one. Because for people that might not understand TA2, what's sort of the concept with those?
Well, it's the concept of what Supercars was trying to do. So they're trying to the whole theory behind TA2 is everything completely controlled. The only thing that you can develop is your setups. Open to interpretation in the rule book, but that's a whole different tangent. But yeah, everything controlled, every car identical, bar the bodies, and just to be a budget-friendly alternative to and like budget-wise, they've done a very good job with what you get with the car, the support that you get with a parts truck at the track. It is a unreal car. Like, that is still to date my favourite car to have driven, raced.
Yeah. Especially coming out of the Hyundai.
Oh, yeah.
You're ripping around in Excel going...
I mean, even to
day
today...
and a half to get to 100. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. You top it out in fourth. You're not even getting to fifth gear at Kilwa.
Going...
You're only just cracking highway speeds.
A bit slow. And then getting... So what did you say they got? They got a couple hundred horsepower in them, don't they?
They got 525. That's what they got.
525 horsepowers.
At 15 years old.
That's enough berries to be pretty exciting.
Oh, they move very well. And being on a... You know, if you've seen a TA2 slick with how wide they are, like they're a wide tyre. They're a... You know, and they don't really weigh that much either. I think they're, I don't know what the rules are now, but they were around 1250 was what they were weighing.
Because are they a tube frame or what's
complete? So yeah, they're a complete space frame chassis. Okay. They're a live axle rear with a Tiger quick change, LS3 all controlled with a. I think they're not sure what ECU they're running now, whether they're the same or they're going in a different direction. I'm not sure. I've sort of heard whispers from multiple different sides there. But yeah, they were pretty well just they're a pretty standard ECU with a Motec dash in them. They had a G-Force 4-speed. The chassis was made by Howe, 5-star body. So they're all very controlled. Such a great category. Very raw. Like you don't get that now. You don't get that raw driving, and they you got a tyre with the sidewalls that thick on them. They move around so much.
They're proper angry race cars.
Oh, mate, you like as a 15, 16-year-old in a TA2 car, throwing that thing sideways around, Tail and Bend, Bathurst, Phillip Island. It's next level. It was a seriously cool experience racing those cars. And even after the last race that I did at Perth in the Super 2 car, which I didn't at the time know it was my last race, but after that I drove the last race car I drove was a TA2. Funny enough. Did that out at Morgan Park. I got the call up at, I can't remember. It was about midday Friday. It was like, 10 o'clock or whatever on the Friday, and I had the day off then, so I was sleeping in a bit, and I got woken up to a phone call of, hey, what are you doing? Grab your gear and get out to Morgan Park. I was like, oh, what? And we need to confirm it, but we might need you. I might need you to drive in a TA2. And this was Megan, who was Ben, my ex-mechanic on the TA2. It was his partner that called me and was like, hey, by the way, there's a bit going on. Get out here now. And, ended up getting the all clear to head out there. So I tossed all my gear in my BT and fired out to Morgan Park. And I made it to the last session where I was literally starting to rip half my clothes off that I was driving in, get ready to get changed to make like the last session, it was like the second last of the last session before we roll into qualifying. Hadn't driven a TA2 for a couple of years. There, I'm like, sweet, jump in and roll, get to the track, quickly do the sign on, jump directly in the car and roll out onto track. And
unbelievable.
It was such a cool weekend. Back at Morgan Park, I'd only ever driven an XL around there too.
It's a beautiful racetrack.
Yeah, and then jumping into a TA2 and being able to, stick the thing up top three.
Give it hell.
it was good fun. I mean, against, Josh Haynes, who had been previously, I was fighting Hainesy for the championship in 2022, I think it was. I think it turned around my years now. Fighting Hainesy for the championship back then, and it was him and Brad Gartner that were up. They were the dudes to beat, and they were ridiculously quick that weekend that we went. But yeah, hopping back in the car and being able to sit the thing up around the top three was
It's pretty good.
It was pretty good.
Because if you've been out of it and you don't know the car and you're not familiar with the track in that car,
yeah,
you just
and I missed one of the races too, because it was pissing down with rain. Wasn't my car, and I was like, no, I'm not doing the race. I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk the car, all that. So we sat out that race. But
it's a very mature decision.
yeah, and we had, same thing. I didn't really want to go and bin somebody else's car, and then I don't have the money either to fix a bloody TA2. Like, I struggled enough.
Teenager, mate. Like, turn it up.
Exactly. Yeah, I struggled enough. It was half wet. Half when we went out for the shootout, and we didn't end up making it through the shootout. Clutch let go after, I think it was like turn 2. Came through turn 1, went to jump on it out of turn 2. I'm like, I've got a boot full of nothing. So, yeah, that was not ideal. So even less track time there, and had to drive through the field as well.
Far out.
But it was such a cool weekend, and it was a very relaxed. Like, it wasn't a right. You need to get in. You need to be quick. It was just a whatever.
Racing.
Have fun, and that was that was a car that was owned by Steve Coulter. He was very close with Ian Turner, Terpsy. That he owned the car that I raced in Super 2. And, that whole deal sort of came about from kind of the relationship between Coulter and Terps and myself and Terps with everything. It's sort of just all the pieces kind of fell into place, and it was cool. I've got to drive for the weekend.
Just worked.
I was going to sit around by the pool all weekend, but no, I'll go drive in circles instead.
It's a much better weekend.
100%. That was a good.
So that's
good
sort
deal.
of how that journey started, because you sort of said you're in year 8, got the opportunity to drive.
Yeah, so it all
TA2, and you sort of said you had a trajectory since you're a little bloke. You were thinking supercars, and trying to maybe build yourself up to that level. Is that sort of
So
that was still the goal at that
from
time?
my mindset, like from when I first tried, because that whole jump into TH I was talking about, that was after Super 2.
Right.
That was the last time I had driven a race car to this day. It was in that weekend there. But the TA2, the whole mindset growing up, and then even hopping into the TA2 was, always supercar focused. It was always, I want to race supercar. And then, that being sort of the Scotty Mack era of supercars too, when I was kind of getting up into that point. And he's a dude that I'd come here and I'd spend time on the simulator when there was sort of a chance of me being able to hop into a supercar. I'd be here on the simulator, even having Scotty Mack here just kind of as a mentor for me too.
Absolutely.
He is a seriously cool dude, very down to earth. Same as SVG. SVG is the exact same. He is so down to earth. Dad and Shane were very close as well. So, we'd have random nights where Dad would be like, "Oh, cool, we're going to Shane's joint." All right, sweet, nice. Go over there, sit on the sim for a bit, do a bit of whatever. Went mountain biking with Shane as well, which when he broke his collarbone before Sandown.
Whoops.
There was definitely some eyes looking at me thinking, hey, was there a bit of a push involved there?
Brutal.
Contractually, I've got to say no. But
Oh,
no,
serious.
he's a yeah. It's just having those sort of mentors around, especially when my mindset was always supercar based. I'm very, very lucky to have. Absolutely, to me, even at the time, I didn't quite piece it together in my brain how sort of special that was. But yeah, like it was always a 100% focus for me. Was yep, I want to get into a supercar. And the first day I got to drive a supercar, being on track with Dad and Granddad in 3 cars together, was like, wow, that was.
That's wild. And what was that? What was the occasion?
So I'm not even sure how the whole thing came about, because it was a surprise to me and to Dad as well until we got to the track. It was all I knew is that I was driving a supercar. I was like, yes.
And you'd never had a chance.
I'd never driven a supercar before.
Yeah. Were your old boy and your grandfather, were they pretty firm with you about, like, sort of, this is the process, these are the steps?
Yeah, and they still are now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Because you've got to earn it.
100% got to earn it. Like it's it's not a there's no sense of entitlement to, oh, I deserve to drive a supercar. It's no, you
earn
need to
your
earn
place.
it.
And you probably have to work twice as hard because, when the name's on the building, they go, no free lunch here, champ.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm lucky enough to have the support of Dad and Granddad, obviously, but it's also not a handout as
Shit, no.
such.
Mate,
So
you gotta earn it.
still need to earn it. And the whole, I want to look at getting back into racing again now, and the whole process there is not a cool. What do you want to drive? We'll make it happen. It's a all right. What are you going to do to make it happen?
Very much like the practical decisions you make around your drift cars, your motorbike. You've got to weigh up the pros and cons and figure it out because, again, the whole family will tell you, like, motorsport doesn't happen by accident. Money doesn't rain from the heavens. You make your own luck.
Yeah, exactly. I think that going back to that day, the first day that I drove a supercar there, that was I think with how I was going in TA2, with the timing, everything kind of worked out to be like, right, well, if you really are serious about taking that next step into wanting to drive Super 3, Super 2, and eventually supercars, cool, we'll make that happen. Leading up to that, I knew that I was driving a supercar. I was pretty much every day that I could get on the sim here and just start pumping laps out at home, pumping QR laps out on the sim, just trying to get my head around the car. And I mean, the simulator here is just next level.
I'm sure it's pretty good.
Like, it's emulated to feel like the cockpit setup of a supercar. So to try and get that muscle memory down pat. And then, we went to the track and they told Dad, bring your lid, bring your gear. He's like, all right, cool, I might have a steer. And, rocked up to, remember walking through the garages and walking into the lane with all 3 cars parked together, all with 17, all with Johnson on them. Dad and I looked at each other and went, huh.
What's going on here?
That's cool.
Yeah.
And, like that was, that, it didn't even hit me then, the sort of gravity of what was happening until probably halfway through us rolling around on track. Like, because I was flat out in my head trying to get around the fact of just, I'm a supercar.
Yeah, you're like,
oh
I'm
my
in a
God,
supercar.
I'm driving a supercar.
I'm in a supercar.
I was like Ricky Bobby when he was freaking out over getting to drive a race car finally. I was like that in my head with the supercar. It was just like,
imagine.
It was next level. And then, I'm looking around at, got Granddad in front of us, got Dad next to me. And that's when I sort of started tearing up. And I'm like, I still get emotional thinking about it now. Like, that is just, that will forever be the highlight of my life.
Yeah.
That day right there. And then that was immediately shattered by Dad trying to bloody shoved me off track. He was feeding me some elbow there.
You're
Because-
like, on your dad. Thanks,
and
mate.
we
having a
had
moment."
radios, all like radios interconnected too, so the three of us could hear each other.
And you're like having a really
And,
special moment. And he's like,
Yeah, and he's like, welcome to supercars, mate. But and then after all that happened, after we got all that filming out the way there, that's when we sort of proceeded with a test day there for myself. And then the next day I was back out at QR doing the rides day, which that was a big day too. But yeah, like it was a.
And you got to tell me about it. Like, what's it like to step into that car and drive that, and then get to sort of drive it in anger and go,
Yeah,
like,
it was.
actually put it down.
It was such a emotional roller coaster of roll out on track and you're like, I'm in a supercar. Wow, this is so cool to. This is an
This is a dream.
experience. Like this is an experience that you can't buy.
No, it's
3 generations in 3 supercars, and then playing around and just having a bit of fun, having a laugh with it, and then it's like, right, it's game pace on because we're sort of starting to do, we're starting to get serious now, testing as such. It's I was knackered by the end of the day, far out.
I'll bet.
It was a big day, but yeah, it's
emotionally and physically. draining.
physically and emotionally, yeah, I was
It's like
rooted.
tapped out. You'd be a shell of a man by the end of the day.
100%. But it was such an eye opener for me. Like even just from a data point of view, with sitting down with your engineer and just that in itself was a massive, massive step up from what I was used to.
You sort of had to do much of. Was that
In TA2 we did,
you
yes.
do a bit? Yeah.
Yeah, so we data reviewing from TA2 because I've got the Motec system where you log a fair bit of data there. But it's just that next step up to supercar level is
The intensity.
The intensity is turned up to 11.
Where you're trying to get 1% across 400 things.
Yeah.
A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more.
Yeah, and the amount of extra data they log compared to something like a TA2.
Oh,
Trust me, you can see
I'll bet.
every mistake you make.
Yeah,
You cannot argue with your engineer because they have all the data right in front of them. They're like, no, you made a mistake here. So that in itself,
Yeah,
I mean, the
nowhere
style.
to hide.
Oh, there's
Nowhere to
nowhere to hide whatsoever. But even just the driving style itself was very different to a TA. Like a TA2, you drive very angry. You can step the arse out a bit, and they move around a lot naturally, so you kind of just let the car move how it wants to a bit. The supercars, you're very like, your inputs are so robotic almost, with just how you're getting on the brakes, with just you're focusing how you're bleeding off the brakes, but then how you're focusing massively on just every little aspect of your inputs, and making sure that the car is, you are not stepping the back out in the
You need
slightest.
to go Max Verstappen on it. You need just a robot.
Yeah, and it's that was very hard for me to get my head around too, because my driving style is that
Loose unit.
just angry, just that older style
Send
angry,
Yeah.
thing moving around a bit.
Yeah.
It's more fun like that too.
That's so much fun.
More fun like that. So
having
it's
to dial into that from carts and different things and excels, and then all of a sudden really having to concentrate all of those skills into, I guess, a very pure driving style.
Yeah, it's definitely it was definitely a very difficult learning curve for me.
I'll bet that'd be severe.
But
Because you're how old at the time as well? Like,
how old was I?
Like 15,
17?
17? Yeah, okay.
Like 16, 17 at the time. Yeah, I think I was 17 when I drove that supercar for the first time, and that it was a lot for me to try and take in.
That's it. Before you can go into a pub and have a beer, you were wheeling a supercar.
Yeah.
Which is, you're not legally allowed to.
I wasn't legally allowed to drive on the road when I was racing. I could wheel a TA2 around a track, yet I'm not allowed to drive myself to the shops to go and buy anything. It's just
Classic.
Yeah, it was
Very weird.
definitely it was definitely funny. Definitely.
the whole thing actually feels pretty surreal. I'm sure it feels a bit surreal for yourself as you sit and think about some of it.
100%, and I'm sort of reminiscing on some of those emotional moments that I've had, or you don't sort of realise it until you sit and think back. Like, I've had some cool moments, like, and it's very easy to overlook a lot of that. Like, there's a lot of super just cool moments I've had that I'm like, wow, I forgot how cool that was in the moment, or even like the first laps I ever did around Bathurst were in a TA2.
Tell me all about that. That would be amazing.
Well, it was I was doing the Bathurst 60 hour and Trans Am at the same time, so I was on double duties that weekend. So jumping between a 135 BMW, I think it was, and between a TA2, two completely different
I was
cars.
going to say, the 135, they're a pretty precise vehicle.
They are, but they were on an MRF too, so they had zero.
What does that mean? What's MRF?
So the MRF was the controlled tyre that they were running for the Bathurst 60 hour.
Right.
And anybody in production cars, you ask them what the worst tyre ever made is, that is what they will say is the MRF.
Gotcha. Wasn't great.
Now, they were very difficult to drive on, I'll give them that. Didn't have a bucket load of grip. And you could do pretty much the entire Bathurst 60 hour on one set of tyres. So...
Look, that's impressive for, wear quality.
Yeah, that's the only... Tyre longevity is the main part they excelled at.
Sort of sacrificed a little bit of grip and performance.
A little bit's being generous.
On those. Okay.
But yeah, jumping between a TA2 and a production car in the Bathurst 60 hour was two completely different styles. But yeah, I was the first session that I rolled out onto the Mount Panorama circuit was in TA2. And
so like big thumper, big V8. You're like,
oh mate, big loud LS.
Good day.
Big. Best part of 2.2 meters wide. Like, they're a wide car moving around a lot, and I'm so I remember pulling out pit lane and thinking, this is sick.
This goes pretty
And then
hard.
I got over to McPhillamy right about to come over Skyline, and I was in tears.
Yeah.
The whole, I'm like, this is like dream
unbelievable.
come true for me. This is just my brain couldn't fathom
what you were doing.
What I was doing.
You're like, this is everything.
Yeah, and then it was down. Same thing, got to Conrod, and it's like, righto, emotions aside, like, hook into it.
Wild.
And from there it was, the rest of the session was a bit of a blur from there. It was definitely a learning curve.
But just that moment of seeing it. And
yeah.
Actually, we were chatting before, and you were telling me that there's a quiet that you feel.
Yeah, it's
around that track.
Yeah, it's you get to that, whether you're in a TA2 supercar, and this is where even drifting as well as that mental health side of it that a lot of people, a lot of people's escape is racing, drifting, rally, whatever it is. That mental escape for a lot of people is what you're doing on track. And the best way, like I described before, is you're in top cog down Conrod, you're moving at the best part of 280, 290k in a supercar, but it's oddly peaceful, quiet. You're not thinking about anything. There's nothing. Those stresses aren't worrying you of just life. None of that matters. You're just in the moment, and it's it's oddly peaceful until you then hit your brake marker, you jump on the brakes, and you're rolling the thing down gears.
That's very real.
Yeah, and it's a very like snap straight back into it. Yeah, it's a weird feeling. But yeah, and like I get the same drifting too, that, and that's why I'm sort of so fond of whole drift side of it. There's a lot of people from circuit racing just think it's a bunch of
yahoos.
just a bunch of underdeveloped blokes with cars going sideways around tracks, burning up money for no good reason. But
It's so far from that.
it is on an emotional level. It's for me. It's far from that. You know, I've had days where I was struggling big time one day. Can't even remember what it was over, but literally I get a notification pop up and it's like, oh, Wednesday drifts this afternoon at QR. It was like an automated message. I'm like, yep, that's me for today. So I went and did that Wednesday session, and it was just just a mental load off me. And it's the same thing. It's very peaceful drifting.
Well, you're there. It's you and your car, and you just try
Yep.
to make it dance.
Yeah.
And when you get it, there's just moments of just sheer bliss.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter if it's for 5 hours, 5 minutes, or 5 seconds, that you can switch off and not have to worry about that life pressure. It's that's what keeps. There's a lot of dudes out there that I guarantee that's what keeps them going, is just that being able to get out and just unwind. But
I interestingly think that drift is undervalued in terms of the additional skills it gives you as a high performance driver.
yep,
I have noted a correlation between skilled drifters like SVG. I remember seeing him, so I'm pretty old school in drifting, and I remember I'd be at Archie and he'd be there. He'd just turn up and he'd
Yep.
just be wheeling something around there because he just loved it. And you watch people who can balance a car on the limit and have that throttle control, have that reflex, and being able to apply that in their racing career. I've seen it time and time again where people just bag drifting and think it's a pile of shit, but it actually makes you a very same as racing in the wet and racing in karts and all that sort of stuff. It's that ability to counter steer and
that
steer with your throttle.
being comfortable with a car that's
Out of control.
uncomfortable, unsettled. We did one of the sessions I did at Super 2, first weekend racing that Mustang at Bathurst was, half the track was wet, half the track was dry. There was a semi-dry but not really line, and it was qualifying. It's like, cool. Went out and, I'm firing across the top of the mountain, things sideways for half the lap, wet on slicks, but it was just comfortable to me. Like it was, I'm not freaking out because the thing's stepping out. I'm just into it, just dancing the car on that line. And that's where I think my strong point is sort of always been is, I can step a car out sideways and I don't freak out with it. And
Just normal.
there's a lot of drivers that when a car really is loose, they can't handle a loose car.
Well, if they've done too much of the precision stuff,
Yeah.
and if you don't have that ability to, again, make a car dance,
Yeah.
they're different skills.
Yeah. But, you look at exactly like what you said with SVG. You look at SVG with, what was he? He was D1NZ.
Oh, yeah.
because I
He bought
don't
a paddock
know.
basher and went and did some dumb paddock bashing drift event.
Yeah, they do that
remember
almost. Don't they do that almost every
And I
year?
was
They do
watching
this
that,
big
and
paddock
I'm
basher
like,
event now.
Legend.
Yeah.
Because that's the stuff that we, as just, a bunch of idiots, you're like, let's go
You're
and
like,
buy shit
yeah,
boxes
that's
and go
it.
drifting in a paddock. Like,
Yeah, I still remember last time I went down to Coffs Harbour to rally. Drift weekend there, having fun, and I ended up losing my keys for my car, so I had to wait till the Tuesday to get a locksmith out to cut me a new key for my BT, but it was like middle of the night and some paddock bashers out at Coffs Harbour out at rally and just cutting like that's just so much fun, that sort of stuff.
that is endless fun, and it's just, again, just good, cheap shenanigans as well.
100%. But like that, back to that whole drifting side of it, there's a lot of people that I don't think take drifting as seriously as what they should. especially from a driver development point of view. It's just
people have blinkers on with that because it's legit.
yeah, 100%. And I'm very keen to see once I hop back in a race car, how much that sort of pays off in that regard.
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised based on my experience.
Absolutely, and I mean, albeit I haven't had my drift pig out for quite a while. I've got bits rocking up at the moment, and I'm getting that back together to get back out. And
You're coming to Matsuri? You
nah, I'm not doing Matsuri.
can't get out there for that one.
No, I'll see when I'll see when I decide. I'll head out to Matsuri definitely, but not driving. So just stick to the Friday nights and bits like that for now. Just come and hang out. So have a bit of fun there. But it's been a while since I've had that car out, and I want to get it out. I think I've been sitting as a big door stopper up the back of our yard.
The classic garage ornament.
It doesn't even get the privilege of garage
really?
space. No,
Oh,
it
mate,
gets
it's slumming it.
Mate, she's paddock space at the moment.
Ugh,
So
poor car.
it's in the naughty corner.
That's sad. So you really were you were deep into it with your TA2 and the stuff that you were doing. Because was that a couple of seasons? Did you get a couple of years
I did.
in that?
So I did a couple of years in TA2, did the Northern Series here, and then I did TA2 and Trans Am, both championships. So that was like 12 or 13 rounds for the year that we did.
Wow. So
That
full
was
championships.
that was 2 full championships in 1 year that we did.
Still in school, or you're out of school by that time?
I was out of school doing my apprenticeship at that time.
Gotcha.
So my apprenticeship sort of followed through to the TA2 side of it, where part of the apprenticeship I did not only building that XD, but was also working on my own TA2. So I was getting paid to work on my own car by Dad, and then also
best ever
time off to test and racing and all that.
Because would you believe the
Didn't
organisation
exist.
Understands about
Time off essentially didn't exist.
Yeah.
So although I didn't get paid for. If we went to QR for a test, I didn't get paid for that.
No,
My boss was a bit cheap.
Was he? What a tight ass.
He was.
Should put complaints to management.
He was, well, I did, but Mum just told me to piss off every
They
time
told
I
you
wanted to
jam it.
complain.
They're like, jam it.
Yeah, I tell people that Dad is the best shit boss I've ever had.
The best shit boss.
I've never argued with a
That's
boss
nice.
so much in my life.
I'll bet.
But
I'll bet. That's classic father-son material
it
there.
was
Does it make him laugh? Because I'll bet he and his old man.
Yeah.
Did they tussle? Or
They did. Dad and Granddad, they've had their moments. I've seen it
it's
before.
father-son things. It's just what happens.
100%. They're arguing about, which we were talking about before. They're arguing about the wing on the XD when they were building it, how they were fastening it, because one of them wanted tech screws fired through it, and the other wanted it all done properly, and it was just
Now, which was which? This is the best part of this story, I think.
Well,
who wanted tech screws and who wanted
believe
to do it properly?
believe it was Granddad that said just fire some self tappers through it, and
Send it.
it'll be stuck on there. It was Dad that wanted it all to be done properly and done nice, and I guarantee if you ask Granddad, no, I never said that. No.
Whereas I think that's got a bit of charm. And look, I know this is slightly off topic, but behind us is the Rock.
Yeah.
Because that. I'll be honest with you, bit embarrassing sitting in here, but that's all right. I'm pretty comfortable with embarrassing myself. I wasn't aware of that story.
Weren't you?
I was not.
Yeah, right.
I have failed as an Australian. I hang my head in shame. I will not be getting my Order of Australia anytime soon, not knowing that. But Sharpie was telling me, are you across that story?
Yeah.
Do you mind sharing that one? Because I reckon that is gangster.
Well, it's a bit of a funny one, to be honest.
Yeah.
So it was 1980. Now,
good vintage. That's when I was born.
yeah, good year. They were the good years of racing.
Good year.
Then that's when
I think so.
That's when I would have liked to be racing.
That
But
was a good time.
yeah, it was Bathurst, and I can't remember if he was in the lead or not. I can't remember where he was in the race at the time. There was a crash there's a funny crossover there that happened too, which I'll get on with. But there had been an accident that happened up the top of the hill, and there was a tilt tray up there, had another car on it, and that's when they were in green flag racing conditions. Were like, sweet, just there's a tilt tray on track picking a car up, drive around it, you'll be fine.
Really?
Pretty much, yeah. So
That was track
there was
safety?
a tilt tray on track. All they did is had yellow flags out waving,
No.
but in still race
Oh,
conditions.
stop it. Are you kidding? This is amazing.
So anyway, tilt tray was up, parked on the top of the mountain there, just before the tree near Solomon Park, and anyway, it was. I don't think it's completely come out how it happened, but that rock there, which has been apparently was a punter that had their feet resting on it and dislodged and rolled out onto the track.
It. So there was someone like just smashing tins.
Smashing tins,
And
had
they've
probably
like, and
pissed,
had
had had their feet on top of it and kicked it accidentally or rolled it off, and things ended up in the firing line of a very, very beautiful blue XD that absolutely nailed that rock. And back then, because it was all a privateer sport, like there was not, there was factory backing, obviously, but it wasn't massive dollars behind racing.
Full professional sport. It was like the cricketers of the time. They're like, punching darts and sinking beers and had a real job, and then went and played for Australia.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what racing was like at the time. And yeah, so there wasn't, granted, I didn't have the money to repair that car, as it was pretty well a write-off. And because they weren't obviously as built like what they are now, they can cop a big hit and
That's game over.
unbolt the front or unbolt the rear. No, that car was game over.
Pack it up.
And it was all of the Australian fans, Ford fans, Holden fans, chipped in to really help fund the build for True Blue Mark II, which then ended up winning Bathurst the next year after that car was rebuilt with money from Australian fans.
Right,
And
that is the craziest story. He did GoFundMe like 3 decades before anybody
before
thought of it.
GoFundMe was the thing, yeah. And it was literally just people mailing in money to him.
Wow.
Of like, there was kids that were...
Okay, we got you, boss. We'll help you.
Yeah, there was kids that were like, oh, here's some pocket money. There you go.
Wow, we just want to see you back out there.
Yeah, exactly. And
Holy.
that was something that really moved the sport back then. Moved Australian motorsport of like, wow, it's really a community sport.
This is something that means a lot to people, and they just want to. I guess the way that we all help each other and we all.
Yeah, they just wanted to be a part of it one way. If they could put their literal 2 cents worth in to help fix the car, then sweet. That's what they were going to do.
Get this bloke back out there.
Yeah, and then I think going back and in 81 and being able to really pay the fans back for all the help, like that would just be.
You try to imagine that, like you think about some of those emotions that you felt out there, and then to go through that absolute horror moment where you've folded, your wheel in. Then you've had people of Australia go, no, we got your back, mate. We'll get you back out there. And then to go and throw down, what a moment.
100%. And that's like, that's what I think it's all about.
Yes.
That's what it's about now in the drifting community. That's what the drifting community has been like ever since I got into it.
Is 1980s motorsport. I keep looking at it and going, it's 1970s and 1980s in drifting, and we're never changing.
Yep.
And that's what I love so much about it. Like, there's pro series and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But then there's just this massive community of just enthusiasts.
100%. But even you've got, your icons of drifting in the country that are still like, we want this. Look at how Farron was rolling around at World Time Attack in that, bright as 80s style puffer jacket that he was wearing, bits like that. He's like, I just like it.
Well, you can be yourself. It's the thing I like about drift cars as well, is they're not a tube frame chassis.
No.
It is a reflection of you. It is a work of art based on how you see a car and how you want a car to be.
100%. And, there's no, that's what I love, is there's no right or wrong way to build a drift car. Essentially, everyone can tell you, you did this wrong, you did that wrong, it's not right. But at the end of the day, who cares? You can tell them to shove it.
Pretty much. Front engine, rear wheel drive, auto, manual.
Whatever you want.
Long as you can theoretically make the
As
back
long as
wheels
it-
turn together.
As long as it goes straight, or even then, I'm sure there's people that are going out to Matsuris and
Single peggers and just give it a
done
little
some
bit more.
single peggers, and I mean,
Little scando.
little scando, bit of a single peg.
Foot. Send.
That's an art form in itself. Trying to skid an open diff.
Oh, yeah.
That's an art form in itself.
But again, you're a Barana bandit too. We discovered that we are both front-wheel drive handbrake masters, and I think that again, it's this progression from all these things. But then out into the drifting, and with the car that you've got, because tell us about your drift car. So it's a BA.
This is a BF.
BF.
Which they're all the same thing, anyways. BA, BF. So, bought it cheap off Marketplace, and then from there just sort of slowly started buying bits for it, like, got hydro for it, got a mini spool for it, and got an AU house lock kit for it, chem plates, the whole kit there, and pretty much from there was like, we're hitting QR, Coffs Harbour, all that.
Doing it all.
And just because why not?
Because why
That
not?
thing's been auto since day dot. It's only just going manual now. I've had the thing for a couple of years and gone through multiple turbo setups with it, gone through multiple relationships with that car. That thing's stuck with me.
They do that.
Mate, there is plenty that car's gotten me. Like that car has gotten me through a ridiculous amount of just life bullshit.
That is
the best way to put it.
Yeah, that's what people don't see.
It's what people don't see, and there's like, it's definitely a tough one to try and explain that, sort of what gets you through life, what, because I obviously after my whole Super 2 ordeal, there was a lot that I had pressure wise on me mentally, and that sort of stemmed from it was me putting pressure on myself. There were some other decisions that probably weren't the right decisions to make, that we made, that sort of impacted the trajectory of where I ended up in Super 3 and 2. Now it was definitely a difficult time. Like it was, and especially when you're in the 18, 19,
That's a complex age.
It's a very difficult age, especially to be going through it. Like, that's the other thing that, I think I sort of took for granted, was, in TA2, everything was going well, won the TA2 championship.
Which is a big deal.
And, like, that was, the first big
That's a
championship
big deal.
I'd won, and, like, we dominated. Like, we dominated that year pretty well, too. And then stepped up to Super 3, and it was a different ball game from there.
Right.
Like, that was just a level that I was not prepared for.
And in what ways? Like, what made it so different?
I think the mental load that you have each weekend, the mental load is just considerably higher than what you could sort of fathom from an outside point of view.
Are there more expectations, or was it your own pressure on yourself, or
personal pressure? The expectation was higher. The level of driving was much higher too. You've got, obviously you're on the big boy stage at that point with supercars at every round. Like every round you do, you are at supercar events. So
the intensity's gone up.
The intensity's dialed way up.
Because you're sort of part of the whole circus then.
Yeah, well, it is the feeder category for the biggest racing series in the country. So you have a lot of eyes on you,
So
especially.
all of a sudden, you've gone from sideways over the mountain, in
Yeah,
the big TA2 to just this layers of complexity.
yeah, and I definitely wasn't ready for the mental challenge that was going to bring for me. And, it's something I definitely should have spoken to people about earlier.
But you also wouldn't know, would you? Because you turn up and it's hard, and you're like, well, of course it's hard.
I'm like, well, this is sort of how
it is.
And
hard.
yeah, it got to a point where I sort of couldn't deal with it anymore, and that's when I'm like, well, this isn't this shouldn't be how it is, and that's when I kind of realised, oh, it's not how it's supposed to be.
And how did you get to that realization? Because I guess I'm interested to understand, like, how it sort of hit that point where, because there's obviously a tipping point where it just becomes too much, and I guess I'm interested to understand sort of how it compounded.
Yeah, it was definitely a difficult one. Like, I was constantly emotionally driving myself into the ground over things that I really shouldn't have been.
Gotcha.
I was really, really hard on myself. Like, nobody put more pressure on me than what I put on myself at the end of the day.
Right. So the team, like, hard but fair, I assume.
Hard but fair.
But
Yeah.
you were just beating the crap out of yourself.
I was beating myself up tenfold what anyone ever could put on me.
And every time you saw a little mistake or something you could have, should have.
Yeah, I'm just, I couldn't let myself live with a 1/10 mistake. I'm like, what am I doing? That's not good enough.
And I guess your self talk's like, just idiot,
Yeah, and that, like, your biggest enemy is your own head.
Oh, amen.
Biggest enemy is your own head. And, I failed to reach out to people when I realistically should have. I failed to tell people, hey, I'm not alright. Like, I'm struggling.
But you also don't want to, and again, I'm just assuming, you don't want to show that vulnerability because you know that sort of in the big leagues and you got to, game face and
yeah,
I got this. Was there a bit of that weight as well?
Yeah, there was definitely that. I'm on the big stage now. Like, if I want to make supercars, I've just got to deal with this. Like, it is what it is. It's what you got to put up with. All of that, but it's not.
Yeah.
And that's what I didn't see. It's not what I should have to put up with.
Yeah, it's different, and there weren't strategies in place. And do you think it made it better or worse being part of a family, organisation like this? Did that?
I think on myself it made it worse because then that was just more fuel for me to put more pressure on myself.
Yeah.
And like dad and granddad weren't putting pressure on me. They couldn't care less what I did, as long as I'm enjoying it. But I still would drive that pressure into myself, and my expectation was a lot higher for myself than what it should have been.
Did you get people giving you that sort of stuff though? Big shoes to fill. Did you get like that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I get that, but it was kind of a case of I'm just like, oh yeah, whatever in my head. I'm like, yeah, shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit. I've heard that 1,000. Like I've heard that 1,000 times. I know.
Yeah. You go, yes.
Yeah.
I'm aware.
Yeah. 100%.
Gotcha.
So
thanks for the update. Yes.
exactly.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Exactly.
It almost needs a bit of thank you, Captain Obvious. Like.
Yeah. 100%. It's like that's the one thing I hate is it was people stating the obvious. I'm like, thanks, mate. I'm Stevie Wonder. I couldn't see that myself.
And see, that's where you just need mad dry comedy.
Yeah,
So
like that's.
I had not ever once pondered it. Thank you for bringing it to my attention. I hadn't noticed the workshop I've been in since I was a baby.
Yeah, it's like
Never dawned on me.
I know, but back from that pressure, to that pressure side of it. It's it wasn't fans as such or other people saying, oh yeah, big shoes to fill or this or that or that, like, none of that was ever really the issue for me.
Interesting.
I got to a point where I was just stewing over every decision everything I was doing. Am I good enough? Just to the point where I'm beating myself up over decisions that I shouldn't be beating myself up over. And it got to a point where mentally it took a big toll on me, and I completely broke down and lost it. I'm like, to the point where I was like, I don't want to live in this mental state anymore. Like I'd just, pulling the pin would be pretty easy right now.
And that, again, for people that haven't had the lived experience of what that is like, it's very hard to understand. But for those of us who have stared into the void, and the void has stared back and spoken to us,
Yeah.
we fucking get it.
100%. You come out the other end, like, it sounds cliche. You come out the other end stronger, absolutely, but that doesn't make it easy.
It
It
is
certainly
not
doesn't.
easy.
Now, the other thing that I thought was quite hard too was, obviously you get people like, oh, have you spoken to a therapist? Have you done this, done that? And I'm like, I can't do therapists and things like that. Yeah, and I was to a point where after I sort of pulled the pin on racing, I'm like, I need time myself. I went very downhill after that. Like, I
And like, tell me, like, what did that feel like? Because I mean, that I have to imagine. I think about some of the pinnacles of what you've done. You found yourself in the place, and then you go, well, that's it. My life as I know it is over.
it's you kind of almost best way to sort of think about it is you kind of one extreme to the other, essentially. In the matter of couple months, went from raced supercars,
Full blown rock star.
essentially, and I'm like, sort of thinking, I'm living my best life, even though I'm still struggling, living my best life to, I wasn't putting myself around great people, doing stuff that I shouldn't have been doing, to the point where I'm like, oh, is this rock bottom? Yes, I have always had the support from mum, dad, grandparents, everyone. I've always had good people around me to turn to, but you don't always feel like you can turn to them. And that's what made it a lot harder, is that you can't, the people that you're closest with, family mainly, there's a lot of stuff that you just don't feel like you can tell them. And that was the hardest bit for me.
Was trying to have those very complex conversations.
Yeah, 100%.
Of I'm not okay. When I guess there's also that you look around and you're like, well, he did it and he did it, and how come? What's wrong with me? Like, and you have those thoughts. Have you come across rejection sensitive dysphoria? Are you familiar with that one?
No, I'm not.
That is one, my friend, that I think you should read up on. The stuff that you're talking about here, and this is I'm just armchair therapy here. I'm 8 years of therapy, mate. I see somebody once every 2 weeks.
Yeah, right.
FYI. And do you know what that is, mate? That shit is Bunnings for the mind. I walk in there and I'm like, I need me a bit of this. And she's like, aisle 42, basics, like just being able to think through things. I've found it phenomenally helpful because I'm still a pretty broken potato, and I have found the complexities of life continue to get harder.
You've also found what works for you too. Like, that's the biggest
Do you know
thing,
what works for
figuring
me?
out.
Nothing. Do you know every day for me is a fucking shit show?
It's
Every day is a fucking shit show. Today, fucking shit show. Coming here, I'm literally driving in the car, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Because like I've had all these things that have spiraled, and all this stuff that hasn't worked, and all these things going wrong, and I still follow through.
Yep.
And that's honestly, that's the only difference, is I feel like absolute hot garbage coming here, but then I get here and I do what I do, and I'm fucking on.
Yeah, and
I love it.
when you surround yourself with the right people too.
And I got the boys here. You get out of the car and you see the boys, and you're like, hell yeah!
Yeah, what's
fist
going
bumps,
on?
Let's go,
Like,
boys. Whereas
yeah.
me, in my own mind, to this day, with all the work I've done and the medication, the whole thing, I'm still a living shit show.
Exactly what I said before. You're your own biggest enemy.
I wish it magically got better, but it's still a train wreck, and I have found that to be reasonably frustrating, because you're a much younger man than I am, but getting to understand these things is actually what has removed some of their power for me. And that rejection sensitive dysphoria thing is basically when anybody sort of says something, or when you identify something that you haven't done the way that you should, because we have these perfectionist abilities, because we're so stupidly good at stuff.
Yeah.
We take it and it hits us like a fucking punch in the chest. Like
Yeah.
you've been hit in the chest by a fucking freight train, and it just goes, and like it can wipe your whole day of you just ruminating and looping on that
Yeah.
thing that you could have done a little bit better.
Yeah.
Rejection sensitive dysphoria
Yeah, right.
is what that's called.
Definitely have. Yeah, but I 100% get understand exactly what you're talking about.
These
though. Like it's
things-
so.
And that's what's really crazy is you have these patterns in your mind of the way that we think and go through things, and then you go, okay, they figured that out. That's in a book, and then you start to notice it, and it's that whole becoming the watcher thing and becoming the watcher of your thoughts.
Yeah.
Because our brains, the way that we work, and because we got the high speed brains, but we're still like half of it's still running on dial up.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. It's
It's crazy.
you're so switched off at. You don't realize how switched off you are all the time until you then hyper focus
And
on
then you're
something you're really keen about,
Is it
and
like-
then
I'm here doing like mad audio and a cinema camera and anamorphic lenses and like just mental
So-
stuff, but I find that fairly effortless.
see that's all like. It's
Yeah.
like me trying to speak Chinese, all that.
Absolutely.
I could not understand that. But then, you get me tearing apart a barra. Oh, I'm in my zone there. That's
It's like putting wet bix and milk into a bowl. It's just easy.
Oh,
You just go, da, 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 da.
100%. Got me tunes going in my shed, and I'm
River.
enjoying it. Got the boys there, and we're just
Yeah, best day
doing
ever.
whatever, enjoying it. That's my comfort zone. It's like a lot of people have their comfort foods. Well, that's my comfort zone is just that, or behind the wheel of a 2007 shitbox.
Yeah,
Is my comfort zone there too.
giving it the berries. And see, that's
100%.
very hard. So you sort of hit a point where you had to step back. And like it's been a fairly big step back for you. And again, you can sort of share as much or as little as you like. But, you sort of said that, you've stepped away from social media and you've really just gone and
I
focused on yourself.
I basically, from everyone else's point of view, is I fell face the earth completely, just MIA, disappeared, and I disappeared from myself too for that while after I left. I wasn't me. I wasn't happy with where I was. I wasn't happy with what I was doing, any of that, and I got to the point where I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I need to sort myself out. And it is still a daily occurrence. If I still need to sort myself out, and I need to make sure I'm working on myself. And every day you're constantly working on yourself. You're evolving in your own mind of how, when you're presented with mental challenge, whatever it may be, some sort of roadblock, is you're constantly learning from everything you've gone through previously to then better yourself, better your decision making, and that's what for me I wasn't doing for a while. I was just kind of like, whatever, arms up in the air, don't really care. I'm just whatever. I had a
Jesus, take the wheel.
I literally had that, I haven't that like, I don't really care attitude. Like, there's a good I don't care attitude, which is the attitude I've got now. But then there's the I really don't care about anything, and everything's bullshit and rah rah, and that's the attitude I was in for a while. So that was definitely a struggle. That's not somewhere that that's not a place I thought I'd find myself in at all. But after I think that, like, that just realization of I need to drag myself out of this ditch. Like, I need to help myself. And then starting to surround myself with the right people and mates that I'm like, because I don't have a whole lot of mates. I don't put myself around a heap of people, but I put myself around the right people. That's the difference. And you've got people around you that you could turn to any person for any reason, and it doesn't matter what it is that you need help with or whatever, they'll help you. Done. No questions asked. So, I put myself around the right people. I started working on myself in regards to just, 'cause I was drinking every day. Just stuff I shouldn't have been doing.
It's the problem though with before I was medicated, mate. I would say like
Yeah.
2 rum and cokes and my brain goes quiet.
Yeah,
And
it's
the
that
only thing that
numbing
worked.
feeling. Yeah.
Only thing that worked. Everything else terrible, but it has such dire consequences. And we spicy brain people were also prone to addiction, and so it's very easy for us to go some is good but more is better, and hit those patterns which are just so unhelpful.
Yeah, exactly. And it's I was sort of in that, going out and getting pissed, like getting absolutely like not like, oh yeah, cool, let's get pissed. Like I was getting rotten.
Next planet.
Yeah, I was like 3-day hangover type rotten, and it was not fun.
And I have to imagine that would have been very tough for your family as well. Like I'm sure for mum and dad as well to sort of see you going through that.
Yeah, and
because they wouldn't have known how to help. I'm sure. Like
yeah, but I don't think they knew
how severe.
how severe as such either. Like I could be wrong, but I don't think they knew how sort of severe it all was either. It was more sort of other mates that kind of picked up on it and
they
were like,
on and they're like, "You're not okay, are you, mate?"
yeah.
You're like,
And that it was really a test of who was a proper mate to me as well, and who was
who are the fair weather friends who want to be on the rockstar circuit, and who are the people who are still there with you.
Yeah, and even some of the mates I made when I was sort of at that point too, I was like, well, I got there's a couple mates I made then just over through drifting, and Liam ended up being he's now my best mate. Like, speak to each other every day, see him every second day, pretty much. There's people that meet you at that low point that then, that they're there to help you.
They don't want anything from you, mate.
They don't.
They just enjoy you. They
They
go,
don't
"What a
want
cool
anything
dude."
from like the first day that I met him. I met him over bloody TikTok or something like that.
Classic.
Because we were both Gold Coast, both drifting, and he messaged me and was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm building a new motor at the moment. I'm actually lapping valves in me Barra." He's like, "Oh yeah, cool." I'm like, "Oh, do you want to come over, give me a hand?" He's like, "Sweet, yeah, I'll do that." So and then from there we got on like a bloody house on fire because we both got, hit with the same spicy stick. And it's phone going off, bloody hell. Like we both got hit with the exact same love of cars, I'll call it. And from there, he's one of my closest mates. He's definitely a dude I can rely on for absolutely anything, and that's the hard thing.
It's something that I've found astonishing, through my sort of decades.
Grandfather's calling me.
Oh, there you go. Get the big guy on.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, hang up. See, it's pretty funny when Granddad rings.
Oh, you there? Hey.
Haven't locked up.
I'm not actually sure. I don't even know what time it is.
Same. 10 to 6.
Oh shit, it's 6 o'clock. Yeah, right.
Does the alarm come on automatically or something? Classic.
Yeah, right. No, we'll wrap it all up.
Honestly, this is the best ever.
Yeah, right. Not too easy. I will. I'll go for a walk around in a sec. All right. See ya. Love ya. Bye. All right.
There you go. What did the big cheese say?
The alarm's gone off.
Oh, the alarm's gone off.
The alarm, as in the alarm to wrap it up, has gone off.
That is absolutely
Time has run out.
Sensational. The big guy said, "It's time to go."
Yeah. So I didn't realise how much time.
That's the magical thing of podcasting. The sitting and talking of shit makes time just evaporate.
Yeah, well, I think Cameron said pretty well. This is how it was going
Happens
to
every
go.
time.
If you know, yeah,
Happens
you
every-
don't.
you start talking, you're like, oh, we've just been chatting for 45 minutes. Then, like, next minute, oh, it's been running for
Yeah, it's
2
been
hours. You're like, oh.
2.5 hours, and
Happens every time.
6 o'clock, and we got here at 2.
Yeah, this is the joy of, conversation.
Yeah.
So you're finding your way back, and you're going to go and do some steering.
I want to do some steering again. I'm sick of sitting around.
You're going to do serious steering,
I want to do serious steering.
not just hoodlum sideways
Not
steering.
not just hoon and old Falcon
with the
around.
hoony hoons and all those idiots. You're going to do real driving
Yep.
with the real drivers.
100%. So yeah, look, I've
Let's go.
I've taken enough time away to really work on myself. I know what mental state I'm in now, and definitely feel like it's the right time to get back seriously on the steer. Yeah, I want to get into a TA2, and all going well. I might possibly look at a Super 2 program or something next year.
Let's go.
So, but for now, baby steps. Want to get back behind the wheel of whatever it is that I can.
So Backy's in the mini drift carts through the family workshop.
The Mini Drift Kart World Championship, sponsored by DJR.
Yes, except until the alarm comes on and then you get kicked out.
Till Grandad calls me.
Yeah, and goes, come on, idiots.
Get out.
Get out. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And look, we will respect the good man and bring this to a close over the next few minutes. So with that program, is there something lined up, or is this?
I haven't got anything locked in yet.
But
as
we're
such.
making steps.
Definitely making steps, having conversations, seeing what the best way to go is. Because I wanted to dive head first back into a Super 2 drive. It's what I wanted to do originally.
And everyone around you said, "Turn it up."
There was certain people around me that thought that was a great idea, Ryan.
It's fair.
I still think it would have been good fun.
Yeah.
There's other people around that were like, the nice term for what they said was, hey, that's probably not the best idea given you've had almost 2 years out of a race car.
Correct.
So
Wise.
definitely wise.
And
but
look, you
would've
need
been-
that.
Could have been cool.
You need the balance of advice. You need the mental friends who are like, "Yeah, send it," and then
Yeah, exactly. No, you definitely need that balance. Between send it and hey, let's be serious about this.
let's
for a
be
sec.
serious. We're going to do it seriously. Let's put a plan in place and make things happen. So this is a big
100%.
deal. So you're going to get back out there. So a man that has won a championship already has
Want
had
to
the
get back out
test,
there.
driven at least one supercar with the fam. Bit of pedigree.
Yeah,
I
done
think
a few years
isn't that the
of-
sort of chat that people use?
Yeah, a few years of supercar racing under me belt with Super 3 and bit
It's
of
in the
Super 2
In the DNA, isn't
in the
it,
DNA.
mate?
But yeah, like get back. I want to get back. Get back behind the wheel seriously.
Start putting a full program together.
And then look at next year putting a full program together.
yeah.
But just steering whatever I can this year. Whether that be production cars, GT4, TA2 Trans Am, a Hyundai Excel, 24-hour Lemons, whatever it is.
24-hour Lemons is the best.
Oh, that's definitely something I want to do. So I just start driving whatever, anything and everything. And then, we'll look at putting together a big boy program for next year.
Man, this is
Depending on how everything goes, though.
Look, absolutely, but you got to dream big. You got to
Got to
put it
dream
out
big,
there.
but it needs to be the right time as well. And that's the other
it
mistake
does.
I don't want to make again. So, you know what?
You've
We're
learned a
going-
lot. You're a wise man
I
for a
know.
bloke who 21.
21.
21.
Recently 21.
Mate, I got to tell you, 21. There was a shit show. Like, I had absolutely nothing together. I've got probably less together now, but wise head on these shoulders.
I've been taught from the best.
Yeah,
That's the best way to put it. Been taught from the best.
I talk to a lot of people, mate, and the markers of success to me are very obvious, and it's that sort
Back
of
again.
stuff. Oh, hang on. I think he's probably watching us on the cameras and going, hurry up.
Hey, mate, we're just wrapping up now.
Yeah, okay. Listen, you take it easy on the way home. It's bloody wet, mate.
Yeah, I will.
And you call me when you get home.
I will. Worst case, I'll get one of the boys to drop me back home.
Okay, who's there?
Cam and Ryan are here as well, so one of them two can drop me back. Oh,
Cam.
yeah, Cameron said he can drop me back, so
Yeah, but hang on.
Cameron that was here. He was here earlier when you.
Yeah, one of our guys. But,
No. Not.
what,
I haven't gone for a walk around yet to see which of the DJR guys are still here. I don't. Oh, the workshop lights are off. Well, the workshop lights are off.
exactly. There might be somebody upstairs. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. But no, I'll go for a walk around in 2 minutes and we'll see who's here and get everything locked up and sorted out.
Okay, well, if nobody's there, you better ring me.
Yeah, I will.
And I'll tell you how to set the alarm.
Yeah. No, too easy.
All right?
Easy.
Bye, mate.
All right. Love you. See ya.
Well, there you go. We've just had 2 generations of Johnson on the podcast. I think
There we
that's hilarious. We are such a shambles of a show. I actually really
I
like
love
that.
it. I love it.
Mate,
So
it's-
chilled, just no plan.
No plan.
You know,
Like-
let the ADHD take over and
Let the
14
side quests,
tangents.
let the side quests reign supreme.
I love it.
And honestly, mate, all I can say is I wish you the very best on this next part of your journey. I have a feeling that it'll probably be unexpected and also very exciting.
It will be, but no, thanks so much, and thanks for having me too. Like,
Oh,
this has been
Dude,
new for me,
pleasure.
and it's been cool, been
And
very cool.
the best part is we're still around, and see, we like to keep up with our friends and people who have come through our show, and just keep an eye on how they're going, because
No.
we're all about lifting people up.
I definitely reckon I'm keen to come back for a chat, but we might have to start a bit earlier. I think.
Yeah, look, we'll be more organised next time. We were distracted by pretty things.
ADHD
like XD
took
Falcons.
over, and we were looking at lasers,
Absolutely.
side exit exhausts, and
Yeah,
pretty XD Falcon.
We got super distracted, mate. Are you coming back onto social medias? Will people be able to find you?
Yeah.
Handles. Where can people find you on the internet if they want to put money in the post and send it to Jett? Yeah, mate, we're bringing it back like the old boy, going.
Absolutely.
We're going to like cash in the mail like it's 1981. But if they want to follow you around on your race program,
Yeah, I got I don't even know what my handle is on Facebook. Jett Johnson on Facebook. You'll see my beautiful face come up on my Facebook profile. It's Jett Johnson _17 on Instagram, I think.
there you go.
I'll have a bit of drifting stuff coming up pretty soon. I got some partnerships there.
Many
with
excites.
Uniclutch being one of them. Obviously,
Let's go. I did see some subtle advertising there.
subtle advertising.
That was very smooth the way that you snuck that
just,
in there. I
just
thought it was good.
snuck it in there, you know.
Effortless.
Key at sneaking sponsors in
Mate,
there.
I
But
thought that was seamless.
no, I've got I got a bit that'll be coming out very soon on that. It's a bit of cool stuff
Very good.
there, from weird gearbox conversions and bits like that, and just go out and start doing some cool stuff.
Absolutely.
Get
And
some
mate,
videos out that people watch and go, yeah, it's sick.
it's pretty good. And look, if you're sending Barrow Falcons, I'll be all over that. So.
Yeah, just going out and having fun. At the end of the day, who cares? Puts a smile on my face, puts a smile on someone else's face, and I'm happy. If it doesn't, well then, made me happy, so it's good enough.
That's a win. All right, we'll wrap it up so that Grandad doesn't ring a third time and then we all get in trouble.
Yeah.
I don't want to get a lifetime ban from this joint. I only just got let in here the first time. Jett Johnson, sir, it has been an honour and a privilege. I really appreciate it, dude. And I'm just really excited to see what you do next. I think you're going to have a lot of fun.
No, really appreciate you having me. Thank you very much. It's been a good yarn.
Mate, it always is. It always is. And for those of you listening that made it all the way, another ridiculously long episode of the All Red Everything podcast. Be kind to yourselves. Catch you next time.